You and your mammy and your granny too. And fuck all you hoes. I'm sick of this shit. All you hoes. And fuck all you. Don't give a damn what you wanna do. And fuck all you hoes.
Chaos.
They like the chaos.
They like the chaos. So when you're able to
The chaos.
let that chaos reign with,
The chaos.
let that chaos reign with,
The chaos.
let that chaos reign with,
Must reign. All right. All right. Yes. Welcome, guys. Welcome to another session, another podcast live stream here on the Chaos Reign Show. I am Chaos Reign, or Chaos. And today, we're going to continue, wrap up this debate between Andrew Wilson and the one and only Coach Gray Adams, or the notorious Coach Gray Adams. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Oh, new links are in the chat room and in the description. If you are interested in vidIQ, click that link and get I think a trial run or free subscription of vidIQ for a few period of time. Usually it's better to get the paid version. As you know, I use vidIQ. Very useful. And not only is useful, it also, if you pay for the monthly or yearly subscription, depending on what membership you get, you could also, if you're a content creator, will know the progress of your YouTube channel and to know how many people make or potentially will make on their channels by just subscribing to vidIQ. So the link's in the chat room in the description. Click it now and become a member of vidIQ. None of that, let's move on with the content. Enjoy, and always, no fair use. Take care.
Answer this last question of yours that you'll actually answer when I ask you after that. Is
Listen,
that
we're not in a court of law. I don't have to answer anything. I can state something.
Yeah, I know,
and
but
then
I'm asking if we can make a deal. That if I
I'll
answer this question, you'll answer
answering
my
the
next
question
one.
that you asked me. I'll consider
So we're not going to
it.
make a deal on.
What the question was asked, continuing this, is what is the solutions in regards to deal with the divorce, the high rates of deletions of men, and also other money that men have to cough up to the woman, or they call the bitch, in regards to being in a relationship. This is Andrew Wilson's actual solution, and I want you to listen carefully and listen very well. Now, in my opinion, there is no right or wrong answer. There's only trade-offs. There's no really solution. But let's go there and say there is a solution for every situation. I think Andrew's solution might have to be examined. Let's go.
That
I don't have to make a deal. Listen,
you don't
I'll
have to.
consider
I'm asking if
answering
you will.
something. Possibly. So go ahead.
Possible. Okay. Well,
Possibly.
then I possibly will hold the debate hostage until you possibly make a deal with
All right,
me.
great. So that gives me the floor.
So we'll just sit here and
They
stare at
give me
each
the floor?
other, or we
Well,
just
here's the deal.
filibuster each other. Like
At this particular point,
so
oh, you don't want to.
so I can
you
answer.
Want to answer it. You want to answer it.
But
I
you're
know
not
you
going
wanna
to.
answer
But you're not
it.
going to answer mine. I just want that clear. You're not going to answer mine after. You're just going to
I
filibuster
answered
and
the
stonewall
question.
again.
I ask you the question. Put it on the table.
So this is pretty simple, right? What you're proposing here. Every policy prescription which is made anywhere in any nation, with any people group, from the tribal all the way to the national level, is going to be a trade-off, no matter what. There's always going to be some people who are disaffected by it in some small percentage, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. We don't run societies based on outliers. The second thing is, when it comes to suicide in men, particularly, one of the best ways to mitigate that is to begin the process of eliminating deployment of troops abroad. Because one of the biggest contributing factors to male suicide, including in marriage with divorce, is their veteran status. And it's because they really depend on their family to assist them with what's going on mentally from the fact they've been deployed in these wars. And one thing you could really do that would help that's what the American First policy is we want to bring the troops home, no more foreign wars. That will greatly help and aid with this problem. And by the way, policy-wise, it's already been aiding. with this as
Okay,
Trump has
this
wound
is-
these wars down. And by the way,
Let's go
I'll
ahead and-
point
that-
out
that's a good. That's a good one. I like it.
I'll
Go
point
ahead.
out a few more things that
Go
you
ahead,
can
please
do.
do. Yes.
So another thing that you can do is at the national level, right? From propaganda works. I'm sure you agree. Propaganda absolutely works.
Absolutely.
If at a national level you had propaganda, which instead of showing LGBTQ flags, degeneracy, girl bossing, shit like this, which is what you see everywhere, you had institutional family units instead, right? And that was what you saw everywhere that you went. And that was where the social status was. At the top-down level, that would really help change people's psyches around the same way they were indoctrinated towards the degeneracy, same way you can indoctrinate them out of degeneracy. It's how we got a whole nation to smoke. And it's also how we got a whole nation to quit smoking. So the thing is, like, there really are good prescriptions here. And the only thing I get from you...
Wait a minute.
Hang on.
We're talking about
Almost
self-deletion of
done.
men.
Almost done.
Okay.
Yes. That'll help with self-deletion of men. Yes. And it's one of the biggest contributing factors. Single motherhood, another huge contributing factor. These are all things which we need to mitigate. And by the way, these are all great prescriptions. You said I don't have none.
No. For a second. That's what you said. Now, here's the deal. These are great prescriptions. I happen to live in the time that you're talking about when the FCC didn't allow degeneracy, and I was able to live through the time where they started to allow it. So I, unfortunately, was able to see a time where America was great, and now we had dysfunction. So I agree with some of those things. That took place probably 40 or 50 years. It would take a very, very
Maybe 100
unique
years.
scenario for that to occur when you have Cardi B and this type of music out here. And she's a single mother divorcee with a man that is having babies
See,
with
now
multiple
that's
men.
a good argument.
Okay, so how...
That's an actual argument.
Hold
the
on for a
first one
second.
I've
No,
heard.
that's something that you agree with. That's okay.
No,
that's
that's an
okay.
actual
That's okay.
argument.
No, it's an agree. You just agree. You can be humble enough to say you agree.
That's an
with me.
actual
No,
argument.
listen, you don't have to be, you don't have to belittle or attempt to belittle.
Well,
I'm here a grown ass
not.
man.
The argument
just say
is
you agree.
propaganda
Hey,
takes
listen,
time.
just say you agree. You want to be
It's
the
not
answer
a matter of
question, just say
agreement.
you
It's
agree.
a matter of
Just say
recognizing
you
that was an
agree.
argument.
It's okay, sir.
It's
I
the
know
only
you're
argument
not
you've
used
made
to
the whole
somebody
debate.
across from you. No, just say you agree.
Now, I'm not sure why he's trying to bait Adam to agree. No man has to agree on that point. I think with Cardi B, personally, it's not a good example because she is unfortunately a whore. And the dudes that marry her are not really established men mentally, spiritually, and any other avenues. Because think about this, guys. Have you noticed people that are about that life that strip or do adult films? They get the bottom of the dwelling of men that make money fast. And not only make money fast, these men that come across money at a quick rate when they are either a rapper, an actor, an artist, music artist particularly. Yeah. These are men that got their money very fast at a quick pace, but it's just like another form of 9-to-5 job. You think about it. Now, a lot of people agree or disagree with this one, but hear me out. They did not get their money on the actual rug, where someone has to establish a business, which eventually it scales up to eventually become a corporation within time. And not all business become corporation over time. If you notice, most people that build themselves up, but nonetheless, they build themselves and got their crack or got their stuff out the mud. They grind to get where they are. These people that had to do very little talent or somewhat talent have not done that grinding, for those that don't know. So that's why I understand the notion why Kevin there put these type of people as highly valued, or out of the one parameters they meet, they don't have the other four. And if I remember what the other four parameters are, and it doesn't come off my head, but I have the Book of Gospel of St. Kevin, written by Obsidian. And I think let me see. Because usually it should stick in your head, like my head, but like I said. All right. Let's look. One of a few things. There are 5 parameters of becoming high value. And please like the stream and share the stream, guys. 1, money. Minimum of 10K thousand a month or 120K USA a year. 10K times 12, that's 120 a year. Not to mention if there's taxes involved, which there are. Okay. Next, the length of time. The above money has to be earned for a minimum of 3 to potentially 5 years. So if you are consistently make 10K every month for 3 years, you're in that boat. Number 3, group acceptance. One has to be known, respected, and accepted by other high-value men into the fold. That means they have a plethora of men that make as much money or more money as them, and they accept them in the group. Number 4, network. One has to be part of a network, a kind of fraternity of high-value men. Now, everybody will say, and let me do more. Number 5, visibility. One has to be well-known, or as Kevin put it, LinkedIn level. People should be able to easily look you up online and know what you do. And last one, is 6 points. Usefulness to the group. One has to be useful to others in the network and to the world at large, which extends beyond merely money alone. Influence, contacts, and personal skills also come into play. And there's a breakdown, which we will not do. But that's just 6 parameters. Most of those people that are making their money very fast, upwards past 6 figures, roughly 7 figures, they will only probably might meet, on the average, maybe 3 out of, or 3 or potentially 4. They will not meet all 6. And I say 3 to be nice. And so Kevin doesn't include those people because they make their money different. They have not grind to really understand the value of dollar and how they got that. Now, a lot of people say, well, some athletes don't some are not going to be going broke. Maybe. But the whole point is this. Most majority athletes that started at 20 or as early as 19 start making millions of dollars. It is a known fact through numbers and through the data itself. And if people don't know there's no data, we can always Google. We can use AI to find if there's any data of this. But let's assume there is. They do eventually go broke after their career is done within 3 to 5 years. The same time that you're supposed to maintain making 6 figures 3 to 5 times. Ain't that something? So that makes sense. If you're able to make 10K as a regular man, or let's say most are making 7 figures, that's upwards to maybe $35 or more $1,000 a month, maybe a little more depending on their contracts. Isn't it ironic that in 3 to 5 years you go broke after retirement? That speaks volumes. I want that to sit in. All right, so I'm gonna let this more continue. I just want to lay that out for food for thought. Let's go.
You can humble yourself in the
I don't agree. It's just an argument.
You agree.
It's
be
just-
a big boy.
Oh,
Be
yeah.
a big boy.
I don't
Now,
agree, but
hold
it's
on
an
for a second.
argument.
Here's a second.
Okay.
You're telling me it's going to take 50 to 100 years.
No.
I ask you about a man that's considering taking his life today. You're telling me about propaganda machine. Okay, there are men here that are been abandoned from their kids. They've been alienated. I'm talking about today. I'm not talking about in the church. I'm talking about today.
Okay, I'll answer
You're
you
telling me
today.
about some scenario where you're going to change liberalism and bring in righteous conservatism. That's not going to work today. We need solutions for men today, not 50 years from the turning point meeting. Okay, at this point, today we have men that are in dire need of help.
I agree.
They're going through unsettling situations and divorces. This is who I speak to, and you keep telling me obvious answers about propaganda and changing this and going to church. This sounds great on paper, but that doesn't happen today. You don't start that today. Can you give me a one solution you got that starts today, Mr. I got all the solutions? We can start today.
Yeah. If you assist with funding MRA groups today who are trying to legislate and get legislation passed today to create preventative measures for those men today. Now, if you ask me, can you do anything about a man who might be willing to blow his head off right this second because he's already going through the events of divorce, which I had nothing to do with, wasn't there for, could never do anything about.
Nobody can do anything about it.
Of course nobody can, but that's built
Even
into...
your righteous ecclesiastic reverend from the pulpit.
Yes, but it's built into the question. What you're building into the question is probably the worst framing ever. Andrew, if somebody right this second is willing to do
Here we
something
go.
bad,
Here's
can
the-
you stop them?
Here it
It's
comes.
like,
Here it comes. Look at the
I don't
scenario.
understand.
But your scenario is
Yeah.
to change MRA funding when women outvote men 60 to 40%, and you have women lobbyist groups and 0 men lobby groups. That's what you're telling
That's
me.
really
We're
funny.
going to change to fund MRA groups.
Congress
MRA
makes
groups-
the law,
hold on for
not
a
the
second.
voters, sir.
Hold on. When
Congress
MRAs
makes the
when
law.
MRAs are on some terror lists. Yes.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
you're telling me that they're going to start just switching funding. We're just going to switch funding over here
Yeah.
to a terrorist
The
organization,
thing is,
according to some of these websites.
yeah, I would say
This is just a pie in the sky.
know,
All
it's
your
funny.
solutions are completely
Not
pie
only
in
is
the
it
sky.
not pie in the sky, but I'll give you an
Absolutely,
example. I'll give you an example.
The least possible situation that
Well,
can
I'll
occur.
give you an example of where it's already happened. So I would argue that the traditional churches are MRAs, that they are men's rights advocacy groups, and that's where traditional masculinity is mostly found today, where men are even allowed to be masculine.
There's
hang on. Let me finish my point. And it is the case that those MRAs, in this case the traditional churches, already got abortion rolled back, didn't they? They're already moving these things back. They're already at the forefront of fighting degeneracy. They are also the ones who are at the charitable forefront of helping those same veterans who are blowing their heads off when the government doesn't even pay any attention to them. When by the time the government was all done doing any of these reforms when it came to veterans associations, it was those pesky old traditional churches that from Sky Daddy that you hate so much. They were the ones on the forefront who were actually assisting those people and not doing that. While you asked me this question, Andrew, what can you do right this second for a guy who's going to blow his head off? Well, probably nothing. But
course
neither
not.
can you.
Of course
But
not.
at least we could do something about that not happening to others.
Okay, so that's very easy to accomplish in red states, and red states overwhelmingly were the states that got those things passed.
Yeah.
They were already going to get it passed without the interaction of these so-called righteous individuals.
That
you're
was
saying.
done
Hold
at
on
the
for a
federal
second.
level,
Now
not
let's
the
just
state level.
through Donald Trump.
Yeah, the
the likes.
federal
Now
level.
watch
It
this.
doesn't- it has nothing
But
to do with red
California, Nevada, these
Uh-huh.
are all states that you can easily drive to and get it done because they're red
Which is why we
or
need
they're
a
blue
federal
states.
ban, yeah.
And at that particular point, are we going to get a federal ban? Do
Yeah,
you
we
believe we
very
have?
possibly could, yeah.
Possible.
It looks good. It looks good.
But
Yeah.
we don't have it today. All right, so we don't.
You
we're not
can't-
again. We don't have it.
So what do you
and
wanna
more
do?
than likely,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you.
Uh-huh.
You said it's possible, and I say more than possible. You're not going to get it. All right. So at that point,
That's what
now
they
you
said
have
about
an
Roe
issue.
v. Wade, and they were wrong.
They're wrong today. They're wrong. Possibly, we possibly might get it, but California they're not doing it. I can drive to California
there's
right
a
now.
federal ban,
When
they
there's a
can't
woman
stop
that can
it.
drive it, I could take a woman to Nevada.
Yeah,
We can
but
take
it's
her to
already
many
decreasing
places
the
right now.
rates. It's already working. Like, what are you talking about? It's already effective.
All it does is just send women to another place.
And
They're
it
gonna
Yeah, it does send to that place, but it makes women think a little harder now on who they get pregnant. I mean, I could tell y'all stories right now about some women right now, but I'm gonna keep that to myself personally. But let's keep real. If let's say I live in the East Coast, right? Was Massachusetts? One of them states, right? And matter of fact, I'm gonna let it play because I'm gonna look it up about the abortions. Let's keep going.
find
Reduces
out-
the amount of abortions.
It reduces it so
Significantly.
Now we're not. That's all we're talking about. Reducing it. We're
Yeah.
talking about now the unsettling experiences.
So do nothing?
We're doing something.
Yeah.
We're doing something. I'm informing
Yeah.
people. I'm informing people. I'm giving people the information.
To do what?
And you're telling me
What do
a
you
pie in
want
the
to
sky
do?
solution that might take
Tell me
forever.
what men should do.
I'm telling you what they're
What?
doing. All right. At this particular point, this
Yeah.
is the question that you've been wanting to ask me. All right. I put out a book called 52 Things That Men Should Do Prior to Considering Marriage.
Okay.
What it does is take it through a step-by-step approach
Uh-huh.
of what they need to look out for just to detect.
What does that
Hold
do
on for a
for men
second.
right
Hold on for a
now?
second. Just to detect this man's considering. I've had plenty of men that said they were considering marriage. They found the red flags
Uh-huh.
because of my book, and they stopped getting married to a woman that eventually they saw would have been bad for them. That would have cost them hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I'm doing something very positive. Now watch this.
This is
you mitigate
great.
you mitigate the red flags. You allow
Mitigate the
men to
risk.
understand what the process of marriage is.
Mitigating the risk.
Then you're going into possibly telling them what the state is involved in, how your children are affected, parental alienation, the odds of self-deletion,
Uh-huh.
and so forth and so on. So,
do-
that's an
So I want to
obvious
make sure I got this right.
opportunity for men to learn.
So I want to get this right.
You're telling me
What
a pie in
you're
the sky
doing-
possibility of changing
Yeah,
laws
so what you're
when women
doing-
outvote men 60 to 40%.
Yeah. So you wrote. It doesn't, dude. You don't even understand the political process and how it works. Voting itself, when you're talking about,
Lobby groups.
yeah, you're
What
talking about
men's
lobby
lobbies
groups
groups?
and
What men
NGOs.
lobby groups?
One quick pause. To let people know, the solution that Coach Greg Adams lay out is not actual solution. That's just a symptom. That's just patch up the issue. And the reason why, because I don't like when people have to go where say I must buy your product to get a solution. People want answers now. They don't want no book. I would not, if I was to release a book, right? And it does give some tangible solutions to certain problems. I would tell them, obviously, this is the direction I will possibly go. And after that, maybe if you're more interested, I wrote a book on it that gives some solutions that talks about what I referred to, but in more detail or much more broader. That would be more wiser. Instead, the first thing you do is say, go buy my book. I explain all, and that's it. That tells me you have no solutions, but you sure as hell marking yourself to go buy some dumb book. And I'm being honest. I'm not saying the book really generally dumb, but that's dumb on your part where it said, "Here, buy a book. This is a solution." No, because most people, men and women today, I don't care what race or background is, they're not reading no goddamn books. The books they're probably to read is either they go to school to have to read, or they'll get a book to really maybe understand or learn a skill or to have some entertainment. But regardless, reading a book about simple solution about divorce or how to be, a bachelor analysis, that is not an actual solution, personally. So as I'm letting this play, I'm going to put the states that outlaw or make it hard for women to get deletions of baby. Let's go.
What male lobby groups do they
The
have?
traditional churches.
Okay, we're back to church again.
They're the ones
Okay,
who
we're
do all
back-
the lobbying on behalf of men.
They're doing it on behalf of the men that follow them. That's not on
It's
behalf
for
of
all men. This abortion
It
ban
typically-
helps
it
all
typically-
men,
It's
not some. Their charities to men who are going to kill themselves helps all men, not some.
It doesn't help all men in that situation.
Yes,
it helps
it
the men.
helps.
Because listen,
Yes, it
I'm going to
does.
tell you where it doesn't. There might be a woman considering getting an abortion, and he wants to keep the kid. He has no mitigating risk. Is that
They're
he
the
can't do
only
anything.
ones trying to change that.
Exactly. Who is?
The traditional
You're
churches.
saying the traditional churches.
Yes.
All right. At that point, that doesn't help him.
Yes, it does help him.
So you're saying at that point, it's only the traditional church when you have hundreds of female lobbyist groups and you have them out.
They're the
voting
ones
men.
combating those
And
female
that's it.
lobbying groups.
And
yes.
that's it. How are they doing? Only the red
They're
states.
doing great.
Only the red
no,
states.
at the federal level, they're doing great. You're wrong.
You can still go to other states to get it done.
Yes, but we've still
this point.
managed to mitigate it even in those states. It's a
That's-
war. It's a political
that's
war.
right.
That's how it works.
Exactly.
And not only that, let's point this out. Your whole solution here, I wrote a book to help mitigate future events. Oh, great. Andrew, what are you trying to do? Help mitigate future events.
Exactly.
Oh, right now, right this second, what can I do to help? Andrew says right this second, if guy has a 357 in his mouth, he's going to pull the trigger, he can't do anything. You're totally right, but neither can you by your own admission.
Correct.
So there we go there. When we're looking at the future, though, and I say, let's do all of these different prescriptions, which we can actually politically accomplish and move towards, you say, that's all fucking pie in the sky, blah, 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 blah. I ask, well, what can you do as far as future prescriptions?
And
You
I
say,
told them-
blacks are fucked, and I have absolutely no prescriptions for it.
No,
Sorry,
actually,
guys.
I wrote a book, 52 Things that men could consider
To
prior
mitigate
marriage.
divorce risk. The
So
same thing I'm
find
trying
out
to do.
If they're marrying the right woman. So you're just
Mitigating
mad.
divorce
You're just
risk.
mad that I have one solution, you have another, and we don't
Mine's
agree with
better.
it. That's what you believe. I think yours is pie in the sky. So that's just.
I
your
don't
own
see how it
belief
can be
system.
pie in the sky.
When
It's
not
affecting
working,
way
you're
more men
asking-
than your book
you're
is.
asking- no. My book actually has 15,000+. You have how
So?
many? Hold on. You have how
So?
many? You have how many ecclesiastic marriages that your church pastors are going to go into the bedroom and enforce marriages? You can't even give
Nobody
me a number.
ever
You
proposed
couldn't
that.
even
You're
give me
such
a
a
number.
liar.
You can't
It's
even give me
such
a
a
number.
liar.
You said that. Give me a
Nobody
number.
said
Okay.
that the pastors are going to go in the bedroom and enforce anything.
Okay, social pressure.
Stop lying.
All your social
Just
pressure.
Stop
Hey,
lying,
listen,
dude.
listen. Where's your social pressure? How many people do you have in your ecclesiastic marriages? How many people got married under that?
Millions.
Please give me a number.
Millions of
Show
people
me a
have an
number. Go- hey,
ecclesiastical
can you type
authority.
it up?
That's
Go ahead and type it up.
people have an ecclesiastical marriage. They may have a
No,
state cert also.
under your scenario.
What do you want me to type?
We don't.
How many?
We
you
don't
know.
know. We don't know
Exactly,
exactly.
But you're sneezing at my number, but you don't know at
We
all.
know for
hey,
sure
listen, there's a lot
that
you don't
even
know.
if it was
There's
the
a
case
lot
that you
don't know.
never adopted the state,
But you don't have any number.
even if it's the
Can you-
case, hang on.
What's
hang
the
on,
number?
Hang on. Even if it's the case that all they ever did was get a state marriage certificate and never even followed that portion of what I'm saying, right? the number is still lower by the state's own numbers. It's still lower in
Can you
traditional
give me
churches.
a number of your marriages that you're proposing that we're all going to follow?
We don't
so
know. We
they
don't
can
have
mitigate?
polls
You
on it
don't
yet.
have a number.
Yeah, we don't know for sure.
I would venture to say it's very little, under 100.
Sure.
All
So
right.
what?
So now we got.
No,
under
it's not under 100.
Okay. Certainly
No.
under 100.
No, it's not.
All right. I
Well,
don't hear
people-
anybody talking about it other than you.
Yeah, well, that's because you're not around traditional
Okay.
churches by your own admission. But yeah, there's
Traditional chur-
people who have crowning ceremonies and get married by
Traditional
churches who don't get a state cert.
Traditional churches.
In fact, there might be data on that. You should look.
please look it up
There might be
under
actually.
your scenario.
Yeah, under my scenario. But the thing is that
Ecclesiastic
even if we
marriages under
grant,
here.
even if we were
So
to
we got
grant,
125
even
marriages.
if we were to grant it,
Yes.
still from the state's own admission, the divorce rate's still significantly lower for a reason.
20 to 30%. Okay, so
That's
it's
huge.
still lower. It is nice.
Significantly
It would be
lower.
nice. You still have men under unsettling divorce conditions. You still have men under state-funded divorce. You still
Yeah.
have men under child support. You still have men under parental alienation. You still have sexist marriages.
2 out of
you
10.
haven't accomplished most of these
2
things.
out of 10.
2 out of 10 what?
That would be 2 out of 10. It's 20%, right? It's 2 out of 10 of those marriages, as opposed to your system.
4 out of 10.
Yeah, in your
5
system,
out of 10.
In your system, it's much higher.
It's the system that exists.
No, it's not.
But you're
Listen,
telling me 150 marriages. This is
No.
all of these scenarios. And I have to be honest with you. This wasn't much of a debate.
Yeah, I know,
because
you
much
lost
of your,
every
no,
point.
no. Listen, much of your scenarios were
Uh-huh.
make believe. To
Oh,
be
okay,
honest
they're all
with you,
make-believe.
they were pretty make believe. You would have to have an extremely considerable movement to be able to accomplish them.
Like
Which
millions
doesn't-
of
which mean
people?
You would have to have millions of people to do.
Can you pull
exactly
up how
what
many
you're-
Catholic and
No, no, no,
Orthodox
no.
are in the
No, no,
United
no,
States?
listen.
It's my turn to ask. I can ask him to
Please
pull
do,
the stats.
please do. But that's not the number
How-
I'm looking
how many?
for. That's
Yeah,
not the
it
number
is
I'm
the number
looking
we're
for.
looking
We're
for.
looking for ecclesiastic marriages under your scenario.
No, listen. Even if
That's
it
the
were
only
the
way
case,
it works for
even
you.
if it were the case, do you agree with me that if you take the state out of marriage, that is going to assist in the reduction of
We
divorce?
can't take the state out of marriage.
Why not?
That's what you're telling me. You
Yeah,
can't
why
tell me
can't
how
you?
many people have done it.
Yeah, but why can't you do it?
Because no fault divorce, a woman can go into divorce you, even if, because you're not under her control. The
How, if you're not
ecclesiastics are under
married
the
to her?
authority.
By the states, you're not married. How can she take you to divorce court? Can you
See-
explain that to me?
Make sure you guys support the channel. And then we take a quick intermission break a little bit. Want my money.
My money.
I told you.
Where is my money?
Betty. Bring me everyone.
I need my money. I need my money.
What do you mean everyone?
All right. If you feel so inclined as I've had just some people watching, you can throw some buckets, support channel with super chat. We'll go a long way. Or if you did not hit the like button, please hit the like button. Likes are free. Don't just hit and bounce off because that will not count as a like. If you're going to like the stream, you have to be in the stream for over 2 minutes for the like to count. Or you can just hit the super chat and pose a question, or say you like the show, or whatever. Let's continue. Phrase.
I asked you this earlier. Have you been through a divorce?
It doesn't matter.
That's
Answer
a
the
yes.
question.
That's a yes.
Oh, and one thing I forgot to add. In regards to mitigating divorce, because that is the whole goal. Really, truly, I think the real goal, if Coach Greg want to be honest with Andrew, he should say that, listen, Andrew, I don't want to pay this bitch. I just don't. If she has kids, that's good. But I don't want to give this woman none of my money. If we no longer in a relationship, the money, the wallet, everything I have and owe cuts off automatically, which should be fair. And I don't mind that. But the problem is, here in the United States, they made a way where they had to get their bread from you one way or the other. And to be honest with you, since Ronald Reagan, was it Reagan or Nixon? Let me see who made no fault divorce. I think it's between those presidents, right? When they issued it in 1969 and it took effect in 1970. The whole premise is to get into the man's wallet. Because think about it, women have prolifically, if she has the option to choose, she will not stay in any situation if she feels uncomfortable, unhappy. You hear the notion commonly. She won't stay in because in her mind, she wants something that benefits her in all avenues. And she walking away from you is another great benefit from her because now she could take your money take whatever little small assets, may take half what you got, and go on to the next man to bounce on his dick and do the process. It's rinse, wash, and repeat. That's how I see it. I'm gonna read your comments in a second, but let's continue.
So you've been through a divorce.
Why does that matter?
All right,
What is
because-
it pertinent to the
Because
debate?
this is why. Can I finish? You've been telling me I'm cutting you off. You won't let me finish.
Bro, I
At
want
this
an
parti-
answer to my
See,
question.
There we go again. Oh,
Can you answer
goodness.
my question?
I mean, I can play the game you're playing.
You just
Can I-
won't answer questions.
Jeez. All right, listen. I mean, I thought you were a tough guy. Listen, under this scenario, a marriage, even if it's ceremonial, religious, it doesn't matter if she files for the divorce. You will still be going in court to fight that.
How
I don't
would
care.
you file for divorce if you're not married by the state, dude?
Listen,
Can you answer my
completely missing this.
question?
You're completely missing this. This is
Oh my
what
God.
tells me you haven't been through one. Have you talked to a divorce attorney? A woman can file. You have to respond and provide evidence that you were not married. Now, you and your common law, you living with your kids, it's going to be difficult. I'm trying to give you some information.
That's
and knowledge.
common law marriage.
Okay.
That's different. In some states, there
You're-
is no common law marriage. So
That's
just
not
answer,
common law marriage.
So just answer
Listen,
one. Okay.
California doesn't even have common law, and that exists. It could be ceremonial. You could get married in Fiji. It doesn't matter. Soon as you get back here, if you practice marriage, the whole institution, at that particular point, if she files, you, sir, will have to respond to that suit.
Yeah.
If you do, I would hope and pray that the judge, not God, grant you your wish. At that point, your argument fails because you then would have to say, my ecclesiastic reverend on the little house on the prairie granted this marriage, but it doesn't count under the state.
I just want to make
she
sure
can do this, and you have to respond.
Can you
to
help
this.
me with this? Because I
I'm
am
helping you a
actually
lot.
confused. So let's say a woman and a man went out to a field and declared themselves
We got
married.
a scenario. Let's say if.
Yeah, let's
Okay,
say if a
that's the
man
one.
went out to a field with a woman and declared that they're married.
Correct.
You're saying she can still go to a divorce court and divorce him?
She can file for the divorce.
How?
You have to respond. You
Yeah,
have
with
to
what?
respond.
Yeah, what does that mean,
You're-
though? That doesn't mean
Again,
anything.
I'm informing
What are
you.
you
What does
talking
that
about?
mean? This is how a lawsuit works.
Okay,
She's
a
a petitioner.
lawsuit.
She
Okay.
files. She says, we walked on coals. We went outside.
Yeah.
This was a union. I consider it a marriage. Everybody knows and addresses us as a marriage.
Yeah.
This is in non-common law states. We receive mail at this place. We've been living under the same roof for this many years. You will have to respond to these allegations. Now, you're going to have to say on your petition, this is not true. We have an ecclesiastic marriage and a prenup under God, and we live together, but we weren't married. That's a response to the lawsuit, and then you proceed to trial and a hearing.
Is this a lawsuit or a divorce?
Divorce is a lawsuit.
Okay, so wait, I'm curious.
Divorce is a lawsuit.
Can you look this up?
Is
Can
divorce
you
a
file for divorce without ever getting married?
Oh my goodness, you are slow. You can file a lawsuit for anything.
So then it's
So
not a
anybody
divorce?
can sue you for anything.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I might have to look this up in a little bit. Let me read the comments. Let me check what comments gone through. All right, I see 2 comments. The third one did not come through, so that means you gotta put the third one in super chat because the third one is not supposed to be read. It says here, a woman will never enter into an ecclesiastical marriage, while common law and no fault divorce is still on the table. Fire. Okay. This is by Big Chris Entertainment. Next one. Women want power and authority in any dealing with men. Okay. Good. All right. So there's only 2 comments that Google allowed. The other comment was not allowed. So you're going to have to either super chat it or I know what should we do with that other comment. But it looked like Google did not like it because it did not come up. All right, let's keep listening. Oh, and for the record, because I said the states that you cannot commit deletion of the baby. Oh, yes. Matter of fact, this one is better. I'm just seeing some right now. Don't mind me, guys. All right. Okay. All right. Well, while it's doing the thing. Oh wait, did he got it? Yeah. All right. Let's keep going. Want to hope no dead air.
Hey, so if you go into there and she
So they're just
says
suing you?
yes, it's
Okay,
a
but
lawsuit.
that's not a divorce. Come on,
says-
dude.
It's a lawsuit.
Can we pull this up? Can you file for a divorce without getting married? Divorce is a legal process that ends in legally recognized marriage.
If you never obtained a marriage license and your marriage was never registered, summarized according to the state law, the courts have no marriage to dissolve. You're full of
Hold
shit.
on for a
You're just
second.
saying
Hold
that
on.
they can. Yeah,
No.
you're full of shit.
Listen,
they can just
they
sue
have-
you for whatever.
You said they have no marriage to the
Yeah,
to
you're
dissolve.
saying that
You
they're just
still
gonna
have to
sue you.
No. You still have
Come
to.
on.
You still have to respond to the lawsuit.
Yeah, but you don't have to go to the divorce court, dude.
You do.
No,
That's
you
where
don't.
You file the response.
No,
you still have
that's
to
not
go.
a divorce court.
That is the divorce
No,
court.
it's not. It's a
That
court
is
of.
the divorce court.
It's the
Listen.
circuit court or some shit, not the divorce court.
Listen, this is.
You got
this is-
caught in 4K.
That's,
You're
that's
full of shit.
ChatGPT. That's ChatGPT.
You're full
In this
of it, dude.
situation here, we're going to bring a lawyer in to
Bring
resolve
him.
this and say, can she file for a divorce? You're saying what the
No.
outcome is. Hold on for a second. You're saying the outcome, they can't legally enforce it. That's what you hope the outcome is. You hope the outcome is. You still have
Dude,
to respond.
all you're saying is that a woman can sue you for anything.
Correct.
Yeah, but that's not the same as filing for divorce
Hold on
through
for a
the
second.
divorce courts,
That's
dude.
where they would file it.
No,
would
they
file it
can't.
in-
No, they're not filing it in the divorce court.
My gosh. All right. That's where they would file it. In the divorce court.
They
That's
would
where
file a
it there.
lawsuit.
No, they would file it in the family court. Trust me. Now, here's the
family
thing.
court's
Hold on for a
different,
second.
though.
That's the divorce court.
Wait a second.
Family court is the divorce court.
Wouldn't you have to do that under specific criteria for family court, like a kid's involved or something? You can just
Correct. So, in the
Come
scenario,
on,
hold on for a
dude,
second.
That's not the same
hold
as
on, hold on,
divorce
hold on for a second.
proceedings. This is
I mean,
ridiculous.
you
That's
don't-
ridiculous.
listen. The family court is what people call the divorce court. There's no building.
To a side note, the comment that you put again, Google did not allow. So if you're trying to express something you want to read, that's going to probably be in the super chat. If it's not coming up on my end of my platform, I cannot pull it up. I mean, something you said offensive that Google did not want to be read on the other outlets. So either you're gonna rewrite what you wrote or put what you wrote in the super chat. Let's go.
that
Yeah,
says
I agree
divorce
with
court.
that.
You understand that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
So you have a woman with children
yeah,
that you say you're not married to. If she files,
yeah,
you still have to go under family court jurisdiction.
Yeah.
You still have to respond
because there's children. Yes.
because there's children.
Yeah.
At that point, my point is made. She
Yeah.
has filed. They may say the divorce doesn't count.
Yeah.
But now, how do we deal with these children?
Yeah, but that was
those
never-
children. That is a part of marriage. Did you not have children with the woman?
Come on, dude. So if you're not,
That
if
is
you-
a part of
so as long as
marriage.
you don't have children, then they can't do that.
Correct. That's what you're saying. But you're saying
No,
you're
I'm
gonna have
asking.
children.
I'm actually asking.
You're saying they're going to have children, correct?
Yes.
You're going to go to family court
Yes, you could go to family court.
if
yes.
she files for the divorce.
Not for divorce. They could go for
If
like
she files
motions
for
for
child
support or all
support,
sorts of
any
things.
of these-
That's
that
not
is the family
divorce.
court.
Yeah.
When we talk about what men deal with when they deal with marriage and the result is a divorce, one of the things they deal with is child support, also domestic violence, which falls.
All right. Now the issue is, and what Andrews bring up to point that you're gonna be in marriage 9 tenths time or 10 tenths of the time. You're gonna have children with this woman. Relationship's gonna be over. She ended it. Not most of the time, right? What are you gonna do about the kids? Because the kids do need some form of assistance. They can't be left unattended, right? And the answer is, I mean, you do the best you can. Now I know some dudes don't deny most kids because they sometimes will tell the woman, I don't want it, get rid of it, or you keep it, I ain't gonna take care of it. A man will let you know up front ahead of time that he want nothing to do with the kid. But the problem is, I can't speak for all men, but for you ladies that continue to have these children, these children that gonna be bastards, the ball's on your court. Now, they will say that most births right now is down to roughly 1 now. And it might be in the next couple of years, it might be 0 or under 1. Not even replacement, right? I'm mentioning this is because some women nowadays are not even, depending on which one you're dealing with, it's going to be prolonged having children because most of them don't want to be a baby mama because the men have spoken, all right? And some women are obliged. And let's be honest, some women nowadays, if you look at, they should not be having kids personally. That's another story. But the ones that do carry on, this is the dilemma they face. All right. I think I found. Okay. Here is a snapshot of the deletion laws of the United States since July 7, 20 something. I'm gonna pull it now. You guys might not be able to see this, but I'll read it to y'all. Oh. Hold on. All right. Oh, I can't find it. Wait, cancel. Where is it? Hold on. Okay. I found it. Let me show y'all the states. I'll name each state. And I'm gonna make this bigger because you're not gonna be able to see this through this view, unfortunately. All right. All right. All right. All right. I'm gonna make this bigger. I want y'all to see this. I'm gonna maximize this. And let me see how it looks. So everybody can see this. Where am I? Oh, that's perfect. Y'all can read this. All right. This is the list. United States deletion laws. Snapshot. This page summarizes U.S. States Board of Legalized Deletion of Babies based on Gutenberg Institute tracking table of July 7, 2025. Categories used below are total bans. No deletion throughout pregnancy except very limited exceptions. Bans in the first 18 weeks include very early bans like 6 weeks, bans after 18 weeks, various later gestational limits, no ban, no fixed gestational cutoffs. This is a high-level snapshot. For exactly gestational cutoffs, legal exceptions, all this stuff, blah 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 blah. Total states by jurisdiction: Alabama, Arkansas, Idaho, Indiana, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, West Virginia. These are the banned states. We have 50 states tracked by 12. You're looking at 38 more states that you could still have the option to delete a child, right? And here is the parameters to the states that give you a certain mandate or a time to when you could do it. The ban in the first 18 weeks, example of early bans: Florida, 6 weeks, Georgia, 6 weeks, Iowa, 6 weeks, South Carolina, 6 weeks. That's a whole month and a week. Utah, 18 weeks. Oh, they give you a longer time. Ooh. So that's like 6. That's like 3 weeks. See Gutenberg for exact states by state week cutoffs. Ban after 18 weeks. Select examples: Arizona, visible or later limited. Kansas, 22 weeks. Michigan, varies on limit changes. Missouri, visibility, distinct limits. North Carolina, state limit varies. Ohio, 20 weeks. 20 weeks. Pennsylvania, 24 weeks. Wisconsin, 20 weeks. Wyoming, visibility. State by state limits vary. Consult table of specifics. No ban, no fixing. Gestational cutoff, states by states and DC. Alaska, California, So, okay, so this says no ban. Alaska, California, and I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why I did that. Let me click back. Did that come up? Oh, it came up. Oh, okay. Oh. 12 states banning abortion. Okay, so 27 states ban before 16, 22 bans it. Okay. Yeah, okay. This is better. This is much better. And like I said, I'm on the East Coast, so I gotta find New York and Massachusetts. Okay. Yeah, this is more detail. Okay. Hope you guys see this. All right, so that's just the list. I'll put this in the how can I say it? Yeah, I'll put this in the Discord for those that want that information. You gotta join Discord to get that information, guys. There's no way around it. Join Discord and you get that information. Let's continue. Please.
The family court, so you cannot be married. Oh
you have a problem here with this.
Listen,
so
that
I
can
agree.
fall under
I
the
agree
family
that
court.
if you have children, that could go through the family court system. Nobody ever disputed that,
Okay.
though.
So you're still dealing with issues,
but
right?
hang on, that's the different one. That's different than filing for divorce. You can't file for divorce if you're never married. That's
Now
one.
you're going to
And
child
two,
support. Yes.
and hang on, two. The second problem here is the reason that men usually lose their custody when it comes to divorce and divorce court is because women plot. They plot escape hatches. So what they do is they go, okay.
Of course they do.
Look, you know, I'm going to take 2 years, make sure that you're fucking destitute on the way out, and then I'm filing in divorce court.
Correct.
You're going to get hit over the head from what happens in divorce court.
Absolutely.
Whole different ball game, though. If it's the case that you have children with a woman, and she goes and she files for custody, you're actually in a much better position to get custody at that
Correct.
point than if it was the case that you were married through the state, dude. Much better positioned.
We don't know that.
No,
That's-
100% that's
you
the
don't,
case.
You don't know that. You're guessing. Can you
No,
give me some
yeah,
data on
there's
that one?
actually data.
There's data on
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one. Okay, go ahead and look it up. But we don't know that.
Yes,
That's just a
if
guess.
it's the case, hang on. If it's the case,
If you're not
because
legally
that
married.
men who fight for custody,
Correct.
right?
Yes, that's correct.
But they're in a better position to fight for custody if they're not going through the divorce court, if they're only getting motions for child support or
Well, we
child
know.
custody.
Actually, I'll tell you something. If you are not married to them, you actually fare a little bit worse. If you're not legally married, that's true. If you're not legally married to, let's just take a baby mom, baby dad situation. If he's not legally married to them, they typically fare a little bit worse.
Yes.
in custody cases.
I just said that.
Right, correct.
Yeah.
So at that point, they're still faring worse. If
No, they're
married,
faring better, right?
if they're not married,
yes, they'd be
their
faring
baby mom.
better.
No, they would actually fare worse.
How?
Well, ask any guy that's been in court. We can look at this
Yeah.
when they are not legally married to
Yeah.
the woman, they go through a custody battle.
Yeah.
When they're legally married, they do better getting better custody.
Yes, men get better custody.
When
So
they're
that would be a
legally
better
married.
outcome.
If they're not legally married,
Yes.
typically they fare worse getting custody
Why?
because they're not married to the woman. This is typically it just depends on jurisdiction.
It's because of the
It's-
unplanned nature of it.
Correct.
But if it's
exactly.
planned- but if it's
planned, we don't know.
No, we do know,
The judge
actually.
doesn't know.
Hang on.
How do they know?
We do.
So now you're saying
Nope.
you're going in there
Hang on,
to
hang
use
on.
that we're not legally married, but we're married.
Here's how we can logically, I think I can actually logically demonstrate this, and I think you'll agree. Okay. So the reason that men tend to fare bad in custody disputes and in divorces is because it's unexpected. So usually they're getting hit with it and it's unexpected. Even if it should be expected, because it's unexpected, they have time to
Typically.
plot, they have time to plan, this kind of thing.
Domestic
right?
violence
And so they
issues.
can
Correct.
hit them with it.
Right.
Right. That's
That's normally what happens.
that's
You
normally
can't mitigate that. Or are you suggesting you can?
You can
Okay.
mitigate. You can mitigate it. Here's how you can mitigate it. If you're in a church, you have
52 things. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you have the ecclesiology, the ecclesiastic community, the community actually supports you when you're going through these problems of
They're not going
divorce.
to be in court with you.
No, they actually help you with funding. They help you with everything.
They're not going to be in
Yes.
court with you. They're not going to be.
They
in
don't
court
need
with
to
you.
go
They
to
don't have
court
the-
with you.
So
Money
gonna
is
be,
what talks, man, and bullshit walks.
Exactly. I agree with that. That I can agree with.
Yeah.
But they're not going to be able to fund
Well, I tell
that.
you,
to
they
get
do
you.
all the time.
Listen,
They
all right,
assist
the
them with custody
125
agreements all the
these
time.
small marriages, I
Yeah.
would love to see these out. They should do a documentary on them.
They do.
All right, so we can see
We
them.
do have stats
But
on this.
most people aren't under these, so we can say that's clearly the case.
But
In
that-
those
so what?
situations here,
So
under
what,
those
though?
situations, you have men that are not under this veil of, I don't know what it is, okay, that do fare worse when they're not married. Okay, that's typically what's going to happen.
Because the childbirth itself is unplanned. But if they're with a woman long term
Yes.
as a partner, they actually do
Absolutely,
better.
and I was
even
one of
if
those,
they're not
and I was
married.
one of those.
Even if they're not married.
Typically,
Yes.
That's but sometimes
So it's still
not
better
the situation.
outcomes. You're just talking about the unplanned nature.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
I mean,
there have
mostly,
been, there
though.
have been, because there's a lot of factors here. I mean, we can make things black and white.
Well, we shouldn't be making things black and white, but it is black and white. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to the Chaos Rain Show. Support, hit the super chat most likely. I have Cash App, but most super chat will go much further for those that want their stuff to be read. And please join my social media links in the description below of every video. The articles that I read, that will be in Discord service. We had to join Discord service to get the links to the article. And besides that, sit back and enjoy, and please leave comments. Let's go.
The guy doesn't have the ability to maintain the custody. He lives in another
Yes,
city.
because
there's
it's
so many
unplanned.
other factors.
Because
There's
it's
so
unplanned. I
many other
knocked her
factors.
up. That's different than I was
Well,
with her
they
for a
were
couple
in a
of years.
relationship. They were in a relationship. All right.
Yeah, but knocking her up usually happens early.
It could. It typically does.
It
because
typically
that's where
does.
men. And
Yep.
at that point, now they were raising the kid for 2 or 3 years. They were together.
But this goes
and
to
then
my
it happens.
point.
But it also goes to my point. In this situation here, right here, we have a lot of things that we like to make black or white and easily solve.
No, that's all nuanced. I agree.
Okay, very much nuanced.
Yeah.
At that point, then you're just telling us, "Oh, I'll just throw this aspect of religion on top of it, and it'll fix it, or it'll mitigate. It'll mitigate it. It'll
Yes,
mitigate.
mitigate.
It doesn't eliminate it.
Yeah,
it just
but
makes it less.
you-
You're not can't eliminate it.
But
It just
even
makes it less
okay,
likely. But they're still going to
but
go
even
through
if
it.
it-
Once they go through it, what do you do?
But when you said a marriage was a great institution, right?
It
Did that
was.
eliminate all divorce?
It was very low.
Well,
about
right,
7 to
right. So
10%.
it's just you're only
Like,
talking
it
about
was actually
mitigation.
lower.
You're
It
only
was
talking
low-
about mitigation.
It was actually lower than the percentages that you're showing me.
I agree.
Way lower.
I agree.
Way lower.
But you're still talking about mitigation.
But we also talking about white people were least likely to get married under these scenarios too.
Yeah, but we're still talking about mitigation.
Exactly.
And
And
so,
so at
if
that
you
point-
say it's great and it's mitigating, and I say, okay, I want to move towards mitigation, we can never eliminate it. You can't hold that against me.
I can't, and you can't hold it against
I
me for
can.
telling men to avoid the situation, especially since, and I'll add this on, especially since we can know statistically women are getting married at an older age. That is increasingly high. We can look at 40 years ago, it was 20 years old. We can look at today, it's roughly around 28 and 30.
But there's some nuance there too. And
There's a lot of nuance
well,
there.
hang on. There's
And
here's
hold
a
on for a
big
second,
one.
but I
Okay,
was
go ahead.
completing a
Go
point
ahead,
here.
Go ahead.
Okay. At that point, you're seeing a lot of women choosing to not marry. You're also seeing a lot of men choosing to not marry those women that are older.
Yeah.
So how do you get those people to have an ecclesiastic marriage?
I'll help you.
When you're telling them, these people are saying, I'm not marrying that woman.
Yep.
She's a stepmom, or so no, she's a single mom.
Yep, I
She's
understand.
older.
Yep.
She's past her prime. How are you getting that marriage rate up?
This is the
with
best.
the ecclesiastic
So I
marriage?
think that's a great question. It's one
Other
that
than saying that they got to be virgins.
and it's
'cause
one
that's not
that
gonna
I
work.
need, and it's one that I do need to answer.
Sometimes I feel they ask Andrew the same question. That's what I'm getting. But yet again, Andrew's gonna probably give you an actual answer and solution. And personally, I was kind of disappointed in Greg in this debate. I read he just be honest, say, I have no solutions, I don't have no trails. I tell men to go their own way. I tell men, especially, to avoid marriage. That would be more of a definite answer than wasting time going back and forth with Andrew. Because Andrew, he is more in the direction to still see families and still see men get married to a woman. He doesn't like the bastard rate that's being displayed here in America, when regards to a lot of men are either married to these women and are getting divorced, or these men just creating bastard children and it's making it hard for the next man to really, deal with because he already sowed his seed to one woman. So he's more in the direction of solutions. Coach Greg Adams is not in the direction of solutions. He's more dealing with it is what it is. I'm going the other way. And I'm telling you now, it is a form of degeneracy. As much as I want to admit that as a man, but listen to Greg's side. This is degenerate behavior. Degenerate behavior. But anyway, let's keep going.
Answer to. So here's the answer to this. The reason that women are getting married older is because they're deferring their childbearing years for college. That's why.
That's obvious. Okay.
I mean, literally, that's
Sure.
the only reason. And one of the
we know
prime
this.
reasons that the birth rate is collapsing is because they're having children older because they defer those childbearing years.
Like I
for
said,
later
that's
in
not
life.
fruitful and multiply. That's just adding.
So we can look at this and we can. Well, it is still multiplying.
Okay. All
but
right.
anyway,
Yeah.
the point is when we're talking about, we go back to this whole propaganda thing, right?
You're not going to get a disagreement on this.
Hang on. The idea is, should we have propaganda that says, women, you go to school, we'll give you student loans, right? We'll back the entire thing for free, and we promise you a lucrative STEM career, right?
Correct.
When the opposition is actually true. Or do we run campaigns that say no STEM funding, you got to pay for your own fucking college, okay? Or you can choose the more traditional path.
How likely is this to happen?
It's actually pretty likely. If you look at the idea of STEM fund or funding for college, right? The idea of student loans and things like this, women are already trying to check out in the worst way because they can't have kids later in life.
But they're not getting married, though. They're not
They
turning
do.
that
They do.
in.
They
They're
just
not
do.
turning that
They
in to
do
get married.
college first, and this is, by the way, where the body count comes from. The big body counts are coming because they spend all this time in college getting fucked.
Very
right?
obviously.
And
This is obvious. Yes.
And then afterwards, right, they get their little lucrative career, and then they want to settle down.
They find a
But it seems to me very obvious that if you wanted to do something about this, you would want to create the incentive for women to not go to college and instead use their childbearing years to get married, because that's what we always did.
I've actually created this scenario before, and it's very opposed to where society's going. Society's really not showing that they're showing trends of this. You might have those little spatters here and there, but if you have a woman that says, okay, I can't afford to go to college, she becomes a Walmart clerk. Hold on for a second. She becomes a Walmart clerk, an assistant manager. I'm looking at those particular demographics. They're not jumping into marriages. All right, maybe in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, they're still out here ho-hopping. All right, they're still finding a variety of ways.
But here's
to
why.
Yeah.
So women are getting more college degrees than men because men have a viable option for making income, which is easy.
Correct.
I mean, it's actually harder,
It's harder.
but it's easy and for them.
We can survive.
And
yes.
the idea is, if you're a tradesman, you're going to make a lot of money. Okay, especially in modernity, because there's an incompetency crisis in the United States.
Absolutely.
So if you're good at what you do, you're going to make a lot of money.
And
That's just it.
Women are less
And
likely
even
to
if
go in
you're
those
bad at it, you'll make a lot of money. But the college thing created a situation we were not aware was going to happen, even though I could easily have predicted it, which is oversaturation. Women only go for a couple things, and they're sociological related mostly. They're not
Nursing.
really for STEM fields, and that's who's hiring is the big STEM fields. Everything else oversaturated. That's why women end up in government NGOs and government think tanks and
Correct.
psychologists, because the overage has to go somewhere. But that's saturated too. So you're seeing actually a trend begin to emerge of that trending down because of oversaturation. So if that's the case, these women don't want to go work at Walmart as the assistant manager, right? And if you had said propaganda plan, and the propaganda plan is simple enough, the idea here is just don't defer your childbearing years for college. Instead, we'll help you with incentives so that you have children younger and you get married younger. You will almost eliminate this entire problem. And yes, not only is
I
it
agree.
viable,
This
not only
come
is
up
it
with this-
viable, but we should be moving towards that. This idea that we shouldn't
understand.
get married rather than just create the conditions for which marriage is great is exactly what we should be doing.
And under those conditions, it would make sense because you're getting women that can multiply, that can
But
be.
it's only the churches that could get
Hold on for a
this
second.
done.
No, not really. But in this situation
Show me
here,
anybody
I
else who
agree.
could.
I agree with that scenario. I proposed that many years ago. However, you're gonna be hard pressed for women to actually pick that. Although they're not going to college, they're trending down in college. They're probably not going to complete one of these liberal arts degrees. What you're probably going to see them do, they're still going to Coachella. They're still selling coochie. They're out here being sugar babies. They're going to OnlyFans.
Same
Some
problem
of them
with
are
oversaturation,
Yeah,
though.
exactly. So it'll get oversaturated. Now you kick the can down the road to what the next thing is. I don't see the women seeing that college is prohibitive to them jumping into traditional marriages. I
Yeah.
don't see that
But
trend.
that was the same argument which made in '90s to men that they would not that the trades are going by the wayside and they all needed to get a college degree. When in fact the opposite ended up happening. Now they're all moving towards trades in lieu of the college degree because of
That's the men.
because of oversaturation.
Correct.
There's no reason for us to believe that if it's the case that women have the option and the propaganda behind it for them to get married at a younger age, right? Defer that with incentives. We can give all sorts
What type
of incentives for
would
this.
you give for
oh,
this?
man. You first of all, you can give tax exemptions, for instance. You could say,
These women don't pay taxes even when they make millions. On
yeah, but
OnlyFans.
the thing that's
Yes, they don't catch up to them, but they don't pay the taxes.
yeah,
they're
so,
not
well,
taxpaying, yeah.
well, they do have to pay property tax on the houses they get from their husbands when they divorce them. So
If they
anyway,
get married, then they
the
don't.
thing is what you could do is in Poland did this, and they had a pretty good degree of success, up almost 0.5%, moving and trending towards almost 1%, which is huge in such a short amount of time. They gave tax exemption, and you can pull this up if you want. They gave tax exemption if you had more than X number of children. I think it was 3 for life. Tax
would be
exempt for
great,
life.
yes.
Now the thing is that's huge. Now, from a woman's perspective, why would a woman go for that? Because she's tax exempt for life too. And the thing is, it's the same reason they're going to college, which is they want the money. The same reason they're selling their pussy online, because I want the money, is also a thing which you can incentivize them to do the other direction.
You could.
Because
It sounds
they
nice.
want the money.
It sounds nice, but
And it's worked. It's worked.
It's worked in Poland.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
in the places it's been tried, the incentives work.
Is that a comparable nation to the United States who highly depends on women being taxed?
Well, so did Poland.
It's not the same size.
Well, I mean,
We were a
but
very
it's
large
all-
country.
but
We're
it's
a
all-
very large country.
But it's all
I mean,
scalable,
it,
right?
It could be scalable.
It's all
I mean,
scalable. The thing
that's kind
is-
of like when people said Sweden did this and
Yeah,
talking about
but-
a million people versus
but what I'm
100
saying
million
is
people. I understand.
We're going to look at the models where they exist
It's a-
to see
it's
how
a
they
nice model.
compare.
Yeah, 'cause
and
we
it's a
could-
better model.
Yes, it's a good model. It would be a good start.
It's a start.
It would be a
It's
good start.
something.
Could you think people would probably try to manipulate that? You said they have 3
Of course.
kids from the same dad or from different
You have to be
daddies?
married.
You would have to be married.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this would be a nice opportunity for us to.
Like I said, Andrew is still promoting family structure, and as much time as Andrew can be an asshole and a real pricking dick when he debates people, I mean, he still values family structure. Like most Europeans, he's an American European man. He instills and wants values for people to still be under and conduct under. That's honorable, that's admirable. But the problem with society as it stands, and y'all guys could agree or disagree, regardless of your views between these two debaters, is that really there's no real ultimate solution to solve the divorce rate in America right now as it stands. The only way this will probably roll back is they had to remove the no-fault clause that was instilled back in 1969. And as a period of now 56 years ago, no fault divorce has been in existence. So, yeah, that would be a start. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's go.
Bring something that Poland has tried to a place where we don't have that same structure. They're somewhat democratic socialists.
No.
We're somewhat
Not at all. They're
capitalist.
very conservative.
They're
very
conservative,
capitalist.
but yeah, they have that, but they're also
No, they're very capitalist.
okay.
Yeah.
So, but typically we're a lot more capitalist than them. Would you
I
say
don't
that?
know. I don't
We're
know
a
if
lot
that's
more
the case.
capitalist than
Like
Poland.
Eastern
All
Europe
right,
has
we're-
become very.
Oh, do you agree or disagree that Andrew really is raging on this? Because he stayed on his values. He stood firm on his values and explained why and the solutions. Do you have any disagreement? I'm interested to hear this. All right, let's go.
Very based. Eastern Europe
Okay.
has become
all
very
right, but we
based.
can probably say 200, 350 million people versus Poland size
It's much smaller, yes.
12 million.
But that's what
All right, this would
scalability
be,
is for.
I mean, this would be the size, not even half of California at this particular point, but that you're scaling to.
Yeah, scalability works that way because
It
it's
could.
scalable.
It could.
38 million in Poland.
38 million, quite more than I thought. That
Yeah.
would be the state of California and plus Oregon, maybe, or something like that.
Well, and California is bigger than a lot of countries.
It is.
That's
It's
the case.
Fifth largest
Yeah.
GDP.
Yeah.
So in this scenario, I'll give you that one. This is a little bit of a reach, but I'll give it to
Not
you.
just that. If we look at the Chinese model really fucked this up. They decided that they were going to do the one-child policy. Remember that?
And they screwed that up.
Well, not only did they screw it up, but they have almost given themselves imminent doom because their birth rate has dropped down so low. Now, what are they doing? They're giving incentives for women to have children.
Exactly.
Now, we do it here, too, to a
We
limited
do that
degree
here.
with tax credits, right? But the tax credits, you're not going to incentivize a woman who can sell her pussy on OnlyFans to have a
Exactly, for way
child
much.
to have a
Yeah.
child for $3,000 a year.
And sometimes they even go on EBT and WIC, and they still use the system. So you're still finding ways where people will manipulate the system. And we're
that's the
seeing
whole
people
point.
that
We're
are
trying to
master
get rid of
manipulation.
that, right?
We would try to get rid of it. It would be a nice try. I'll give you that one. That might be a
No, it's possible, and
It's-
more than possible. And it's better than the idea of just continual degeneracy.
Well, I'm not promoting degeneracy. However,
Sex outside of marriage?
well, who is that degenerative to? I mean, that's your
Right.
your Bible.
So
I mean,
the-
most of your Christians, your traditional. Hold on for a second. Let
Yeah.
me. Most of your traditional Christian women that are getting married to these simps are blindsided, typically by women that were promiscuous. all
Sounds
right?
like
so
sex
that
out of
sounds like
marriage is
normal.
good.
So
Sounds
that-
like sex out of marriage is bad.
it sounds like it's really bad. But
Yeah.
those are your women you're trying to marry, not the virgins that we're going to
You
have.
think
or
that
the
this is
overwhelming-
mitigated by you being a secularist versus a Christian? Give me a break.
I mean, you're not
If
going to
you're-
mitigate women throwing their pussy around the internet or
Yeah,
finding around the
well,
road. You can
that-
hardly mitigate that. I mean,
know-
you haven't done anything at this particular point. They're busting it wide open on OnlyFans.
Yeah, we can put
right,
outlaw
these are the church
OnlyFans.
women.
You can outlaw OnlyFans.
I mean, every one of your scenarios is a big major swing at. They're not happening. All right, it's not happening.
Do you know that the
they're
people
not
versus
outlawing
Larry,
anything.
the people versus Larry Flint was not long ago when
Mm-hmm.
the normalization of the porn used to be outlawed. Okay, it
But
used to be
people still would-
outlawed all over the United States, and guess what? The effects that it had on the psychology of men and the effects it had on marriage were negligible. You could still get it to some degree underground,
Right.
But it was tough and it was illegal. Why do you think?
And people still went to the.
Why do you
they
think
went
it
to
is-
that they? I don't know if you remember
Yeah.
this if you're old enough. They
Go
still
ahead.
went to that VHS area or the area of the magazine.
That was after Larry Flint.
All right, but that was a result. That was kind of one
that
of the
was
things
after
that they said.
legalized it. Before
Exactly.
they legalized it, those sections didn't exist.
Exactly. So now it's wide and open. It's in the open.
Yeah, so
now,
we need to
where we at?
eliminate it. Yes, we
didn't eliminate Playboy and Penthouse.
That's
It
after
still
Larry
exists.
Flint. Larry Flint
It's
was Penthouse.
I understand that, but it's still here. I mean,
yeah,
you didn't
he
get
won
rid
the
of
case.
it. Correct.
But
so
we
there
can
you're,
we're
how you going to beat
unwinding.
OnlyFans?
We're unwinding and have been unwinding. That's
Again,
what Roe
you're
v.
trying
Wade
to-
was. The
right,
idea
you're
of
try-
Roe v. Wade was to
By the time
unwind.
you beat OnlyFans, the damage is done. I'm gonna just let you know.
Yeah, you know what?
Right, the
That's-
damage is pretty
it's
much
really
done. That
funny.
would
It's
take
like,
30 or 40 years.
okay,
to
well,
defeat
after
that.
a war, the damage is done. It might take 30 or 40 years, but you know what? The thing is we don't quit because it might take some time.
I didn't ask you to quit. What I'm asking you is, you're trying to solve the problem today of getting traditional.
Both. Both.
Traditional.
Today, tomorrow.
I understand that. Tomorrow will be a better day. But at this point, you're looking at traditional conservative women that have thrown their punanis out. Some
Sure.
of them are single moms.
Well, they're not.
Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe, and support channel super chat. I saw this comment right here. One of the highest paid creators of OF is supposedly a Christian virgin woman. Really? I did not know that. No news. Can you tell me the name of this so-called woman? Because I find it ironic. How the hell you gonna fling your box around for a paid subscription of $4.99 or under $5 a month and think that you should be still keeping yourself for marriage? Does that make sense? Please tell me the name of the person. Oh, come on, bro. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna post this. That 21-year-old. Now, come on, no news. Come on. Can I be real with you, my friend, my dude? Does that woman, if you looked at her own social media presence, and hell, you could even go and Google her up, do you think or believe that woman still saving herself for marriage? And she's making millions of dollars off of the internet, showing her chest, showing her twat. Do you really believe that she's not getting fucked right now? I'm just keeping honest. And I don't like the cuss, but I'm just gonna go there. I'm waiting for your response. Let's keep playing.
Traditional.
All right.
But yeah.
Again, they're not, but this exists. And unfortunately, the traditional conservative movement or
And
what
it's full of
these
feminists, I
women,
agree.
yeah, these women come in as feminists, liberals, and they cosplay, trick these men into marriages, say that they're going to marry them, not in the secular, and then they follow you, and then they run right back to the court.
no,
Now,
the
this
opposite.
does happen quite a bit, even in the
Not from
Christian
no,
church.
Not from us.
Well, I don't know how many you are. We still haven't determined.
But the thing is funny.
This still happens. So a lot of men get caught off guard because they see her thumping the Bible. Oh, she's one of us. And these women have figured out how to cosplay.
And again, I think this is a good question, right? And notice I've answered all of yours. You haven't answered any of mine. But
which
the thing
one
is,
did I answer?
Yeah. Can I ask a couple?
Go ahead.
Okay, great. So the progressive mantra is that sexual liberation, this is what feminism was based around, was sexual liberation. That was the big one.
Correct.
That their bodies were being controlled, not just from abortion, but from who they chose to have sex with because they were attracted to them, this and that. Marriage was a complete trap for women. It was self-destructive to them, this and that. What is the distinction in your message in that one to men?
What's my message?
Well, it seems to me that your message is that marriage is simply too dangerous, and that if you want to sleep with women outside of it, it's perfectly fine, and it's actually liberating for you because you're moving away from the trappings of marriage itself.
And it would be safer.
Hang on.
Yeah.
That seemed like the same exact message that we got in the 70s from feminists.
If you frame it that way, it would be. But
So you're a feminist?
Hold on for a second. It would be two different outcomes. You're protecting wealth, access to children. You're actually being able to control who has your children.
That's
who
what they
doesn't.
wanted.
Exactly. Well, no, they want to be able to kill their children and abort them.
They wanted
all right?
to be able
So
to determine
we're
what happened with their
We're trying to
children.
figure out where we have the control legally. They're having the control over their body. These are two different.
But
these are two different outcomes.
So what's the
legal
delineating
outcome
factor
is what the men are trying to figure
from
out.
a 1970s feminist to your messaging right now? What is the difference?
They're trying to control their bodies.
So are you.
I'm trying to control legally, financially. These are two different things. These
Those
are
are
two
your
different
body.
outcomes.
You're controlling your
No,
bodies.
don't just make it a body.
It's the
now.
same thing.
It's financial. These aren't not my
That's
body.
the same
All right?
arguments they
This is-
made. It's
listen, No,
financial.
you're trying to make it the same. I
It
know you're
is
trying
the
to.
same.
No. You're trying to cram that in. Oh, finances is your body. I'm trying to control the legal outcomes.
So were
related
they.
to that. Related to finances. Not related to me being liberated and sleep with who I want to. The first goal was to control what happens to me financially. It was never the goal for men to avoid marriage, to sleep around. That's the feminist goal. Those are two different things.
They make the
You're
same
trying to make
claim.
it-
They make the same claim. Their
there
claim
never
is
was financially. It was
we're
to
not
sleep
telling women
around.
that they need to go sleep
Those
around.
are two different
We're not
things.
telling women they need to go sleep around. We're just telling them they can if they want to. Isn't that the same as your message?
If they want to, some men don't sleep around.
Yeah.
Some men don't sleep around.
It's just
not
feminism
the same
for men,
thing.
dude.
No, that's what you want to call
And there's
it.
no
and that's a-
prescriptions. It's just feminism for men.
How's that not?
Before these guys continue on, I see some in the chat room. You answered, I don't believe she is a virgin, but I do believe she made that much because of the simps out here. And I'll go in further. No news. There are a lot of women, and I did the numbers, and I did a show on this, particularly on this channel. I can't name the particular broadcast, but I went and did the numbers of who makes the most money on OnlyFans, right? She is one of them, and there's another person, I think it's another woman, but she's from another country, I believe. I think London, Australia, or New Zealand. I forgot. The other woman made as much money. And then there are a male celebrity. I think Tigger makes money on OF as well. But really, truly, the simp economy is, to my eyes, it's going to slowly die down. And the reason why I say it's going to slowly die down, because a lot of these simps that are not pursuing box or, don't have the option to get it, it's going to come to them in floods now, the way how this economy is going in America. You think a man's going to spend, I'm not sure what's her highest subscription. What's Sophia Rain's highest subscription on OnlyFans? Can you tell me? No news? I wouldn't be surprised it's like maybe $10. And there's different tiers of subscriptions. But I think that's the lowest tier should go. No man right now, the way how the economy is shifting and how these women are going to be looking for men anyway, they're going to be so geared to be paying a random chick online to see her butt, sir, pop her thing in front of a digital phone or a digital camera for $10 a month. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Oh, and you're right also about, hell, Catch Me Outside Go made a few million within hours of her posting her first content on OF. So it's not for far-fetched. Yeah, and especially her, Catch Me Outside, which right now she's a mess in herself, man. She getting knocked up by Negroes. She's getting abuse by choice by young Negroes. So I have no feelings for her little white butt. And hell, she got her body done. So what more can we say about her? All right, let's keep going. And guys, like the stream, support the channel, hit the super chat. Likes are free, so like the stream, please. Let's go.
A prescription. I get to control who I'm with. I get to control where the law is.
Said the
And I hold on
feminist.
for a second. And I get to control where my finances are, not the state.
Said the feminist.
No,
The
no, no,
same
no.
things
That's
you were
not.
fighting
No, no, no.
for.
That's not. It's not the
We
woman's
don't have
finances.
a bank account. We can't decide what to vote. We can't
That's
decide
a
what to do with our children.
that's a
We're men's
secondary-
property. It's
That's
the
a
same
secondary.
shit.
That's a secondary issue.
Oh,
that is
man.
a secondary issue.
the same
You tried to
issue.
compare it. You tried to compare it, and then say finances is body. I mean, come on,
That's
man.
what
I mean,
they were
you're really
fighting. They
trying
were
to.
fighting
You're
for the
really
same
trying to
thing.
cram this.
They were
in
like, we
to
want
fit
credit
your
cards.
narrative.
We want to be able to control
That's
our bank
nice.
accounts.
That's
We want to be
very
able to
much
control
a
our
secondary,
finance.
tertiary issue. We're talking about what you framed
It's
it
the
as.
primary issue.
The primary issue for
For
me
you.
is finances. It's not to sleep around. All right,
Yeah.
that would be two different things.
But
I'm
if
not
it's-
maintaining my independence and staying single
But if
so
it's
I
the
can sleep
case-
around. That's not the primary
Yeah,
issue.
I understand,
It is
but-
for
but if
finances. So
it's-
those are two different
No,
arguments.
they're not. and
You
I'll
want to make it
explain-
the same for
Look,
you? Go ahead,
Let me give the explanation.
please.
If every single argument you make, even if you say these ones over here are tangential, but I agree with them, is the same exact argument of the 1970s bra-burning feminist, whether or not it's your
That's what you
hang on.
believe.
Whether or not it's the primary goal,
Make it
hang
work
on,
for
hang
you.
on, man.
Make it work for you.
Even if it's the case, it's not the primary goal; it's a secondary goal. They're still the same
You
goals.
framed
Hang
it
on,
as the
man.
number
Let
one
me
goal.
at least make the argument
Please
before you
do.
respond.
Reach on in there, man.
So the thing is,
Dig deep.
is if you say, "Hey, man,
Dig deep.
this is about financing." It's like, okay, well, you know, the 1970s feminists, we can't have credit cards, we can't control our bank accounts, we can't control our own financial independence from men. That's what they're fighting for. You want the same thing: independence from women to control your own finances. Say,
We were
hang
talking
on,
about
hang on,
promiscuity.
dude. Almost done with the argument, then you can rebut it. Next thing is, when you're talking about promiscuity, sure, sleep with whoever you want, right? It's under your purview because you can do whatever you want with your body. Same exact argument that they were making. They're not the property of men, right? They should have complete sexual liberation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All of these are the same degenerate structured systems which led us to where we are currently right this second, except you're just providing them for men instead of women. It's like, can't we at least at some level look at this and say, look, just because these crazy women are doing these insane things, we can actually, as men, do something about this prescriptively without adding the degeneracy. Can't we do that?
Okay, let's go back.
Okay.
There's a such thing as, medicine. You might take a medication to solve one issue and you get side effects. You're telling me the side effects equals what the men wanted as to solve the problem to heal. That's the reason they took the medication. Now you're telling me about all these side effects. A side effect of feminism being able to control their body is to also have finances, blah, blah, blah. Same thing with the men. The men didn't intentionally go in there to say, this is for our bodies.
What?
We went in there to say this is to control our finances. Then as a result of that, there could be some other things that happen as a result.
Yeah, but if the results are the same as feminism, who
it's
cares?
not the same.
What's the
It is
difference
not going
in
to be the
result?
outcome because at that particular point, the man has controlled his finances. He's outside of the state system.
That's what
So
the
when she go-
feminists argued for themselves.
That's a completely different reason. You can have
Who
the same
cares if it's-
outcome.
it's the
You can-
same fucking
listen,
outcome.
You can have the same outcome and it could be for different reasons. All right. You're saying the outcome pretty much says it's a reason. That's not true. You can have two different reasons and
great.
have similar outcomes.
So we have the same outcomes for 1970s
okay,
progressive
but that's not the
feminists
intent.
for men
So
because you intended it to be different.
But you wanted to
Great.
compare. You just simply wanted to compare it as the same.
It is
It's
the
not.
same.
It's apples and oranges. It's apples and
it's
oranges.
apples and oranges because you
To
didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean it that
No,
way,
you
even though
said-
that's the same result.
You framed it that way to
Because
fit your
it's the
narrative.
truth.
That's your narrative.
It's not my
That's
narrative.
your narrative.
You just
can-
agreed
listen,
that what I
you
said is
look-
true.
I didn't agree with anything.
You did.
said.
You just said that's the
I
same,
said,
it's the same
this is
comparable
the outcome.
institution.
This is the outcome. If I choose to do something for different outcomes, it's not the same.
just wild.
Just because certain things line up.
It's just
the way you
feminism.
want. And you're cherry picking, by the way, and you're very good at it. You're cherry picking
Oh,
the
okay,
good
cherry
things,
picking.
the bad things, and then you want to reframe traditionalism and call up the traditional church. Well, the traditional church also had the Ku Klux Klan in the 1950s.
No, that was the
Is that what you want to do?
non-traditional.
Okay,
That's for
okay.
Protestant churches.
Okay, well, it's the church. And
No,
at that
it's not the
particular
church.
point, if you want
No,
to go
it's
ahead
not.
and cherry pick what's good and what's
by the way,
bad,
they were
that's
Democrats.
a great Snapchat.
Those were Democrats.
Exactly, and of course they were Democrats,
And
certainly
not
what the
Republicans.
Republicans. Okay, well now where are we at? There's going to be Democrats in your church? No Democrats.
Not
Okay,
usually.
so at
There are
this
some, of
particular-
course.
Of course there will be.
Yeah.
So there are going to be people that have
Yeah,
the
but
same
what does the
ideology.
KKK have to do with anything?
You're snapshotting traditional world that literally you can just pinpoint 10 years.
Yeah.
And if I go back 10 years before, it was non-existent. You're
So
reaching,
what?
you're creating a pie in the sky. And then if I fast forward 15 years later, it don't exist. Now you're trying to bring it back out
How
of
do
the
you
dead
know?
like you're Billy
What-
Graham. I know
This is
that
very-
doesn't exist.
What doesn't
It is
exist?
Please, guys, hit the like button, like, subscribe, and share this content. You know, this is the final part of in this debate. Let me see what's written in the chat room. I have no idea, bro. I just remember reading the article. Okay. And let me check, make sure nothing's on the other end. All right. It looks like these are fine comments. Andrew's conflating feminist logic with men walking away. Yeah, some way he is. Coach Greg Adams is correct in not getting married, and Andrew's walking brothers off a cliff. I think he's more focused on his group, his people, Andrew. In my opinion, I don't think Andrew's concerned if the black population, black race still get married or not in the society. In my opinion, he'll have conversation with black folks, especially black women and some black men, but eventually, I don't think Andrew has the same drive or strive to see black people really get married, in my opinion. And I'm gonna listen to the debate very clearly. He'll give solutions, but the solutions he gives is mostly beneficial within his own group. Cause I think it's more Catholicism and all that. That's more of the I'm not sure if it's the Mormons or all that type of people where Andrew probably resides if he lives around them areas. But it doesn't work for every race of man, especially us as black people. When we talk black man, black woman, we have a different struggle when it comes to unions and marriage. Regardless that we were married the highest up into the late 60s, going 70s. Andrew would have a point. Feminists don't have policies backing them. Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
Not the normal traditional church. You're screenshotting things. You're picking out a period of history to say we need to take it back from here. That period
No, I'm
was
doing the
only a
opposite.
small percentage of
Trying to give a holistic view, not just of
you're
the
giving
entire
a religious view,
not
not
just
a
the-
holistic view.
Well,
It's very
look,
religious.
most of history is full of religion. I'm
and
sorry
a
to
whole
be
bunch
the
of
very-
religious people killing people. But go ahead.
That's
Go ahead.
That accounts.
Keep
for,
it going.
That accounts to,
All right, a lot of people
yeah,
killing
so
each
that
other, a lot
accounts
of
to
divorce,
about
and a lot of
4
fornication.
About
Go
4 to
ahead.
6% of all wars were religiously based.
How much?
4 to 6%. You can look it up.
All right, I don't care what. That doesn't matter. They kill each other at massive rates. All right, listen. Religion is not the
4 to
answer.
6%.
You guys, you're
Yeah, I
you're
know.
trying to tell
Degeneracy
me,
and feminism for men.
I
is
didn't
the
say it
answer.
was. You didn't have to live degeneracy if you're non-religious. That's your world.
I
Again,
know.
you always make it fit
Yeah.
what you want. To
Because
cherry
it does
pick.
fit. It is
doesn't
the truth.
fit.
That's what you guys advocate
You're
for.
only good if you're religious. That's ridiculous. All right, you only make good decisions because you're religious.
I think it
That's
seems-
ridiculous. That's
it's-
what you hope.
Did I-
And that's not the case because a lot of people that are in your
Why do you say
hold on
only?
for a second.
Like, why do you say only?
Hold on.
When I,
a
when
lot
I
of
talk
you
about
just-
outcomes being
you
better
just
than-
admitted you just admitted
Better.
that there are women that are feminists in your church.
Of course.
Okay, so there's your solution there. You're telling me
So
it's
what?
always better.
It
And
is
it's
always
a
better.
Snapshot. What you're doing is selling men a fantasy of them.
And you're
achieving-
selling them feminism.
I'm not. Well, we can agree to disagree on that.
Well,
But you're
no,
selling them
agree
a
to
fantasy.
disagree, just selling them feminism.
And you're selling them a fantasy. All right.
Yeah, but that is feminism, coach. You're selling feminism. We don't want to deal with no feminists. We said, no, we're just not going to deal with you bitches. We're going, and we're just going to just, what we call it, take a knee. That would be more respectful approach. That would be the only approach. But in regards to feminism, I don't want to agree with that because most dudes don't advocate or want to push feminism because feminism is the biggest problem that we face here in America. All right, let's go.
A fantasy
that's
that I
not
have
gonna
data
exist.
to
Matter of fact,
support.
most people will be dead by the time you get even 1 inch closer to whatever you're proposing.
Well,
most
under
men will be dead as a doorknob.
Under your
but
proposal,
under your
you have assured that black men will be dead. You said so yourself. There's no fixing it. They will be. That's your prescription.
well, that's the prescription that you heard. What I told black men is to leave that community. The community is not to
Are
be
they
saved.
doomed or not? Like you said.
The black men leave the community, they thrive.
Yeah, I know. Are they?
Yes.
Are black men doomed? Like you said
The
earlier.
black
or
men
not?
that leave the community, they thrive.
Yeah, I know.
They
But
do
are,
very
are
well.
black men doomed? Like you said earlier. Or
Under
not?
the matriarchy of the black community, yes.
Okay.
Under the scenario that I'm proposing for black men, absolutely not. They thrive.
But that's in the future. What
But
about
that's
right
so-
now?
So that's
what about
no,
right
no.
this second?
They're thriving right now under your degeneracy model. All right, they're thriving right right now
none of
under
them.
degeneracy.
Who?
Oh, yes,
Who?
You're looking at one right now.
You're what?
You're looking at
so wait
one.
a second.
So that's who.
So let me get this
You're looking
right.
at the notorious one right now.
You're
That's
thri-
who. You
so-
want an example?
so men-
give me your numbers.
Yeah. So men.
You didn't give me your numbers
men
the
are-
whole damn stream, but you're
Of
telling
what?
me
I gave
who.
you tons.
No, give me your numbers of your ecclesiastic marriage where your pastor on a little house on the prairie is going to prevent
Yeah,
them
we
from
would have
getting
to
legal.
move.
Give me them numbers.
Yeah. Again.
Okay, you're asking me for
How
mine.
many times
I gave
do
you
I have
one.
to explain this?
Come on, man.
So again, when you're talking about just because they don't have polling data for the United States specifically, we can definitely look at other nations where there's ecclesiastical marriages and the divorce rates. That's one. You can do it right now.
No.
The
no.
second is this.
You keep
even
changing
if
that.
I
That's moving the
grant,
goalpost.
even if I grant that just because polling data for that specific thing doesn't exist right this second,
Okay.
the polling data for people who are engaged in state marriage is still lower. That makes my
that's
argument
great.
much more compelling
That's
than
great.
yours.
That's all fine and dandy. You're comparing 125 people to millions of people.
No, these
All
are
right,
millions
what
of
number-
people
What number
in the state.
What's the number
Of
people
what?
that participate?
Of what? Which thing?
I keep asking you this. You never give me the
I've
number.
already
I
told you 50 times there's no polling data.
Exactly. You don't have a number.
But I do have no.
Miss Sarah, your comment is not gonna post on here because Google is gonna not make it be present throughout the chat room. If you want your comment to be present in the chat room, ask me a super chat because most of the comments, if you look on here, are shown on my end. If I don't see it on my end, I see it here on the studio. It says it's telling me that it's not supposed to be present. So either rephrase what you're saying, rewrite that old thing so it could be in the chat room, or put in a super chat. That's the only way it's gonna be allowed for me to put up and read it. It's all right. Just give me a disclaimer. Let's go.
it's a
numbers
pie in
of
the sky. It's a
people-
fantasy. You've
Dude.
been selling people a fantasy.
Do you realize that
I love it though.
it
You know,
makes-
listen.
you make my point stronger, not worse?
A fantasy?
If it's the case that people are engaged in state marriage right this second and are part of traditional churches and their divorce rate is lower, it
That's
has
fine.
to logically follow that if they were not engaged in state marriage, the divorce rate would be even lower.
You're talking about getting hit over the head 30% to 50%. Okay, that's great.
It's
I'll
huge.
Give you that.
That's huge.
I'll give you that. That's the difference between 150,000 people. Yet you're telling me you have a better solution
No,
to
it's more than
mitigate that.
150,000.
Hold on. You're giving me a mitigating better than that 30%.
That's way
That's
more
what
than
you're saying.
150,000, dude.
Where's that solution for the better than the 30%? I've been asking for it. You can't tell me how many people that you got under these
but
notorious
there's no
contracts that don't
I
have
can
the state.
logically demonstrate it for you. There's no
I
polling
need you to
data
get
for
that
it. So
number.
what?
Get that number. That would be a great
When I
so
asked
you can
you-
tell the audience. Hold on
Yes,
for a second.
I'll tell
You can
them.
tell the audience
Okay.
how many people that you're going to prevent from busting out this ecclesiastic contract with your little house on the
It's not a
prairie,
contract.
whatever it is that you're doing. If you could tell your men how many people you have doing it and you prevented them from getting divorced and losing their kids under custody, please tell us.
Yeah, so
Otherwise, it's a fantasy.
oh, let's respond again. Do you have the polling data for how many of the black men you've personally helped?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's see it.
Hundreds of thousands
Let's
right now.
see it.
Hundreds
Let's see
of
the
thousands.
polling data.
Hey, everybody in the chat.
Where's the polling
Press
data?
one. We're gonna do it right now live.
That's
We're gonna do it live.
scientific
Everybody
poll-
press one.
That's polling
if you're
data?
A Coach Greg Adams. Disciple.
That's polling
If you-
data.
If you follow me for the last,
You don't
8
have
years,
hundreds of thousands of
press
people in your
one.
chat, dude. Give me a break.
Press one if you can see it. Look. You see
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, where's
Oh
your
no, you don't want to
polling
look.
data?
You don't want to look. Look at this.
Where's the polling data?
Coach Gang represent.
do you have
You see it
scientific
right here?
polling data?
That's more than your ecclesiastic contracts.
Oh,
I can
great.
guarantee you that.
Okay, everyone in
I
the
can-
Crucible chat who Andrew Wilson has helped, put one in the chat. That's scientific polling data,
Go
says
ahead.
Coach
Go ahead.
whoever.
I know
it is.
you don't want to hear it. I thought you was gonna let it happen. Now all of a sudden you don't.
That's not a good analysis, personally. And I'm not sure what platform they were doing this debate on because I can't tell from the chat room personally. But when he's talking about polling, he wants statistical data, which most United States is not going to do an actual number of the numbers of men staying far, far away from actual marriage, and it's not paying the chick nothing. They're not gonna give you that data. As let you know right now, they're not gonna give you that data. Because they only go by things that is tangible that they could see. And that little poll they did on the internet in the chat room, I can't quantify that personally. So that's not a good representation. As much as people want to go by that, I can't go by that. Even Andrew want to go by that. He knows damn well he can't go by that by who's his subscribers because now people are loyal fan base. on certain platforms. So that's not a good representation, unfortunately. As much as I want to accept that, I cannot accept that. Now, no news routes. Andrew is getting flustered because his points don't land for black men. This is why there's a separation in the manosphere. This is the same way world respond to the black experience. Yeah, a lot of these non-blacks are not in the business helping and fixing all men. Do you men understand that most of the non-blacks are here for their own agendas and their own purpose and their own self-preservation only? They will say F by everybody else. They're in it for keeps and win. They're not always focused on saving other men. And once black men gets that clear in their head, which some of them still struggle with it, but like I said, it is what it is, you're not going to really move and progress in the society properly because you want to be friends with everybody, but everybody doesn't want to be friends with you. And I find that ironic. Let's continue.
Don't like the numbers. Come on, Andrew, man.
That's not
I thought
polling
we were better-
data.
I thought we were better
That's
than
not
this.
polling data, doofus.
Okay,
What are you
pull-
talking about?
You gonna call
That's
me
not
a doofus?
polling data.
Were you gonna call me a doofus?
Yes, that's doofus shit.
Yo, man, that's crazy because I asked you for a number, and I'm the doofus. You can't even give me a number.
I gave
under
you
your
hard
data.
dude.
Wait, where's your army at? What's
Yeah,
the name
pull
of
the
your
chat
group?
up.
What's
You
the name
want
of your group?
The Crucible chat.
The Crucible Army.
Mhm.
Go ahead and pull them up and tell
tell
them
them
how
real
many
quick.
of them are under your
Hang on.
ecclesiastic contract.
And let's make sure we got this straight. How many people are in his live chat right now?
He's got 2,060.
And see how many people are in mine.
Let's go. Pull it up. They should beat me in your ecclesiastic contract. They should floor us in the ecclesiastic contract.
Oh,
4,300?
damn.
That's like not even double.
Just one.
All right, we're both doing well.
Just one, please. Just one, please.
We're
And now that means I win.
where they at?
That's
Where they at?
scientific polling
Oh,
data.
there's crickets over there. Okay.
Just ones. Just
There they
one.
go.
All we got to do is
There's the
ones, and that's
Crucible over there.
scientific data.
There's a couple of twos in there. I want the ecclesiastic contract marriages.
Oh, no.
That's what we're asking
You
for.
said, who have I helped?
Oh, wait a minute.
That's different.
No, you ask who, for me,
Yeah.
who's followed my prescription.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not
who has the
polling data, dude.
I ask you for the ecclesiastic
God.
contracts, Andrew. This is very simple.
What part of
This
we
is
don't
very-
have the polling data, but I
'Cause
can
you don't have the
logically
numbers.
demonstrate it? Do you
You
not
don't have the
understand?
numbers. You're selling a fantasy.
We do have the numbers.
selling a fantasy.
Oh my god, dude, this is
You're selling
so
a
low
fantasy to
tier.
men. And I think what you need to do is
talking to a fucking
I want,
wall.
and I hope that all those cancer sticks that you've been
Uh-huh.
smoking will help your ass live long enough to see how far you led men astray. I would love that for you to survive, and I would bless you by the name of God in the Jesus Christ and Latter-day Saints that you survive all them goddamn smokes
You
you've
don't
been
follow
out here.
the Jesus Christ of Latter-day
all them
Saints.
smokes you have, so you can come out here and live and see how many men
Jesus
you
Christ
led
of
astray.
Latter-day Saints. You follow Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Somebody does.
You
More
don't.
people than that.
Give me a
More people
break.
than the Crucible.
The
More
LDS.
people that
You
more-
are not
hey,
in the
the
LDS
more-
church,
hey,
dude.
More people,
Oh my
more
God.
people than you have under your ecclesiastic contract. I can guarantee you that. All right.
All you have to do is agree to one proposition. Is it the case that you personally think
Not
that
today.
if there is no state contract, you're not win a
Easily.
state contract, your chances of getting divorced are going to decrease? Is that true or false?
If that's true, even if you don't get married, correct. Your chances of getting divorced goes to 0. Oh. And that's the same thing I said. Don't get married, you don't get divorced. The number one cause of divorce is marriage.
Not
Boy,
marriage,
it sounds like
a state
it sounds like-
contract.
no, the number one cause of divorce is marriage. Hey, Andrew, let's just say this, man. Listen.
I thought they could divorce you even if you weren't married to him 5 minutes ago.
No, you went through a ceremony. You went through a religious ceremony. So at that point, they can. But if I never went through a ceremony, they can.
They can sue you for anything by your logic, whether you
No,
went
no,
through
no,
it or
no,
not.
no. Don't move the goalposts. I said you went through a ceremony. I didn't. All right, those are two different things, sir.
Which part of I don't really again I don't understand if it's the case that you
He's
say
scrambling and scraping for shit right
yeah,
now.
if it's the case that you say
He's
if
scrambling
you're
and scraping for shit right now.
If you're
Look at
married
him.
by the state,
Look at him scrambling and
yeah,
scraping.
if you're married by the state, if you're married by the state, your chances of marriage or divorce
But if you don't
increase.
get married, your chances of divorce is 0.
Yeah, okay. Wait a second. I'm sorry.
Your chances of if you don't
Except-
get married,
unless you're
your
cohabitating,
chances
right?
of divorce is
Unless you're
0.
cohabitating.
Depends on where you live.
Yeah, so then it's not
That's common
0.
law, not
so
in
you just
California.
lied. It's not
Not in
0.
California.
So then it's not 0.
What about if you don't cohabitate?
Yeah, again. So
Again.
now you're moving the goalposts.
No, most of the time. If you read my book, and I bet you can't read. Did you write a book? I'm pretty sure you didn't.
No.
I wrote a book.
My
that
wife wrote a
basically
book, and I take all her money, though.
Good. Well, that tells me what type of man you are. Holy mackerel! You're pimping your wife out now. What's
To
next?
write- to write
what's
books
next?
that I
What's
profit
next?
from?
If those, how many books that she sold? Now let me get
I'm
back to this.
pimping
Hold
her
on
out
for a
'cause
second.
she wrote a
Hold on for a
book?
second.
Don't be condescending, Coach Greg. Don't be like that, Coach Greg. Stop it, Coach. Stop it. You know, it's hard for a lot of men to even get their wife to submit. If his wife is doing that and he's click on the mic, that's good on Andrew. Good on Andrew. Matter of fact, let me give Andrew a round of applause. Matter of fact, I got some better. Where's that thing? I got some better for y'all. Hold on. I got some. Oh, it's not there. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it right here. Hold on. I got some better. Hold on. Where is my thing? I'm gonna find it.
What the fuck?
My
What?
prescription for men is
my
no. Hold on for a
prescription
second. No, no,
to
no,
wife
no.
out to write a book.
Yeah, well, I guess YouTube's going well if you're living off your wife's books. All right, what's her name so we can give her some shine and sell some books?
Oh, her name is Rachel Wilson, the author of Occult Feminism. I guarantee it sold more copies than yours, sir.
All right, we can look it up.
Let's
It's
look it
over
up.
that. Nah, we can look it up.
No, let's look it
now
up
watch
right
this.
now.
Watch this. All right, go ahead.
I want to look it up right now. Now I just want to know.
Now at this point, what have you done? You're living off the backs of your wife? Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Is this traditional marriage?
Yes, absolutely.
Boy, oh boy, men have fallen. I'm gonna tell you that.
Absolutely.
Men have fallen. It's a disgrace. All right.
Man.
You're living off of what? Is this traditional marriage, by the way?
Yes.
Your wife is in the traditional marriage and you're living off her finances? God damn. All right, boy. The crucible is falling apart at this particular point, bursting open at the seams.
Yes, you got
Gentlemen,
me.
What's your book called?
Free Agent Lifestyle.
You got me, man.
Yeah, I did got you.
I
All
take
right.
all. It's true. I take all of her money. It's true.
Well, that's what you said.
I mean, I do.
You said that.
I do.
I mean, I'm not saying something you didn't
all
say.
of it, and I spend it on guns. Every
Traditional
dime.
marriage sounds great, guys. Traditional
How
marriage
does
sounds
that
great.
sound bad? Who would be upset by that? I take all of my wife's money and spend it on guns. He says traditional marriage sounds great,
That's
guys.
traditional marriage. That falls under traditional marriage.
Sure.
Oh boy.
What's untraditional
All
about
right,
it?
That's a great traditional marriage.
It
model.
sounds like great
All right.
traditional marriage to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't find the numbers, honestly.
Oh, well, that's too bad.
This all happens. Shit happens. But it's a bestseller. Trust me. You should read it.
So's hers.
Yeah.
It's just sold
But
more.
what have you
It's
done?
just sold more.
But what have you done?
I take her money.
Zero. Exactly, boy. I mean, you hear this?
Yeah.
This is the traditional patriarchy, masculinity here, in live and in living color. But you can follow him. You can follow me.
I mean, your book is ranked higher on the charts and it has more ratings.
Oops.
Can't find the sales numbers on either.
The sales numbers are what matters.
Oh. Oh.
Let's see the numbers.
Oh.
Numbers?
Uh-oh.
Numbers?
Uh-oh.
Numbers?
Oops.
Numbers?
I'm higher ranked. More
So,
people have.
let's see
Ooh,
the numbers.
ooh. Come on, man. I don't know. I don't keep the data. I don't know what
You
happened.
don't know how many books you've sold?
Millions.
Sell millions of books. Give me a fucking break with this shit.
How many books you sold?
You haven't
Zero.
sold millions
You
of
sold
books.
zero
Now you're
goddamn
just
books.
lying and coping, dude.
You listen. I'm higher ranked.
Yeah, you sold millions of
Hey, but
books.
look at the numbers. The numbers don't lie, Mr. Numbers Guy. I got
Okay,
higher
where's
rank.
the numbers?
Higher rank. More people
wanna
have.
know how many you've
look at the
sold.
book. More people have rated the book.
Yeah, and
Free
guess-
Agent
you
Lifestyle
can-
for life.
And guess what? You can definitely brigade
For
your own Amazon
life.
shit.
You challenged me.
Show me
You're
the
the one
numbers.
challenged me,
Where's
sir.
the numbers?
You sold zero goddamn
Numbers
books.
are
Man, what? You saw the numbers?
no.
He
I
pulled
didn't.
the numbers.
I asked you for the sales numbers. How
He
many have you
pulled the
sold?
numbers. Free Agent Lifestyle for life. Hey, everybody go out buy the Free Agent Lifestyle.
Yeah, the free
Hold on.
agent never doesn't
No,
know
no,
how
no,
many
no.
you sold.
I'm higher ranked, man.
So
You
what?
Seen it. I got more people. Look,
That doesn't
hey,
mean
Shawn,
shit.
Shawn Michael, hey, you see that? I'm higher ranked.
Uh-huh.
I'd imagine with the ranking algorithm, sales does play a factor.
Come on, man. We already know that. But it is what it is.
What are
But
the
I don't
numbers?
I don't know my numbers. My probably
I
better
know.
than hers, but I know it's better than yours.
Yeah, I can't find the round of applause thing. I swear if I had it, but I guess not. Oh well, let me read these comments. Let me see. That is let me check. All right. Yeah, I gotta get back. Okay. All right, thank you. The one named Big Chris, your comment did not go through. If you want that comment to be shown, put it in a super chat or rewrite the comment because it's not pulling up on my end. Let's go.
That's true.
Right?
I've never
You
written a
got
book.
zero.
I just take the.
I mean, you
I
just
just
come-
take the author's
You come
money.
up with obvious solutions to scenarios that
And you have
anybody
none.
can
You just want
anybody can come up
feminism.
with. I don't have a solution. Free agent lifestyle is a solution.
That's not a solution to anything.
It's not. It sure
It's
is.
just
It's
degeneracy.
a solution that you don't like.
It's just go fuck chicks.
No, that's what you think. All right.
Uh-huh.
It's a solution that you didn't.
How's it
even
going
read
to
the book.
help? How's it going to
How
help
did
with
you
abortion? How's it going to help with anything?
Well, that's what de-evolution is for. Read my book,
De-evolution?
De-Evolution. Go ahead and pull that up. All right. I
How
have a
does
second book,
de-evolution help?
De-evolution. Go ahead and look.
How?
How about you read the book and then come back?
Just
You
tell
didn't
me.
do your research.
How does de-evolution help
I
with
figured you
abortion?
were a better debater than this.
Can you
and be
answer
more
the question?
prepared. No, be more prepared next time because I don't have time.
You
for
can't
this,
answer
man.
any
Listen,
questions.
But I'm going to sell some books.
Just no
Free Agent
questions
Lifestyle
answered?
and De-Evolution. The link is in the description box below. All right. I did my work. I don't have to explain it. I wrote a book. Your job is to do the work. All right. And that's what we teach men to do. It's not about degeneracy. We teach men to do the work and not come up with pie in the sky
be
fantasies
feminist?
that don't work.
To be
All right.
feminist?
The Captain Obvious.
you know it
your-
doesn't work?
Your solutions are very obvious. Control propaganda. All right. Jesus Christ, man. Look, anybody can come
Here's
up
your
with that.
solution. Do whatever you want. Fuck
The
whoever.
free agent lifestyle. Yeah,
Fuck
baby.
whoever. Just fuck whoever. It's fine. We're
Well-
not feminists, those guys, even though we have all feminist propositions.
I bet you your wife's body count's higher than yours.
Yeah, I bet your
I
wife's
bet
body
your
count
wife-
was higher than yours,
No,
too.
no, I'm not married. I mean, I'm not married. And your wife, you living off of her.
Anymore.
I bet you her body count higher than yours.
You think so?
I know so.
Oh,
I
okay.
know
Just like
so.
you know your
And
numbers?
She's a traditional
Just
conservative.
like you know
I
your
know she
numbers
got
are
ran.
higher?
I know she'd have got ran through more times in the
Gotcha.
Holland Tunnel.
So that's it. It's just now ad
Now we
hominem
just
about
ad
my
hominems.
wife.
Is that what we want to do?
That's where you went.
No, you
Did
brought
I
her
say a
up.
word
I didn't bring
about
up your wife.
Did I say a
I didn't
word
bring up your
about
wife.
your wife?
I don't got one.
Yeah, if you did, do you think I would have?
You brought her up.
I brought my. Did I attack her?
I didn't attack her.
You just said she had a high body count. You lying sack of shit. Show me the proof.
I don't have any proof.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
she's
just
a
making
hey,
shit up.
traditional conservative.
You
women
lost the
hey,
debate,
listen,
so you went
I didn't
ad
lose the
hom.
debate.
I don't even
You've been
care
losing
at
the
this
debate for a
point.
long time.
Your wife
has
has a high body count.
I bet you she does. That's the
Yeah.
number.
What's the proof?
Traditional conservative
None,
women
yeah,
have
none.
higher body
She's not a
counts than men.
She's not a tradcon, dude. You don't even know what you're talking about.
How's she not a tradcon and you married her?
I'm not
She
a
feminist?
tradcon. You didn't
Well,
do
what
your
are you?
homework.
What are you?
I'm a Christian ethicist.
A Christian ethicist.
Yes.
All right. Very good. All right. And
Very
you
good.
still don't know the numbers, how many people follow you.
Follow what?
Follow your prescription, your master solution. No
I
numbers.
literally have
But you're
given
asking
you
me
number
about numbers
after
and we pulled the
number
numbers.
after number
Oh,
of
my goodness.
the fact that the traditional
many
church's
men-
divorces are lower.
We got that. But how many men follow your
We don't know the
prescription?
polling
You
data.
don't know.
We don't need to.
But-
we know that even if they're with the state, it's still lower.
Coach Gang, one in the chat. All right, Coach Gang, one in the chat. You bought the free agent lifestyle, and it helped you. Put a one in the chat.
All right. It's been 2 hours. You guys want to call it?
Yep.
All right, guys, check them out. That was a fun debate. We'll let ChatGPT decide who won this thing. We'll throw in the transcript in there and link it in the video. See you guys next time. All right.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. The one fact I did not respect Coach Gray Adams at the end, talk about someone else's wife. At the end of the day, as men, and this is black men, listen to me good, listen to me fucking well. The one thing out of everything, we should show some form of goddamn etiquette. You don't want no other man talk about either if you're married or you have a girlfriend, talk bad about your own woman. What Coach Gray Adams showed and displayed at the end of this video was outline, very insulting, very disrespectful. Now, most men nowadays would do something, they get punched in their fucking teeth for that shit. Because last time I checked, I don't know how long Andrew been married. Well, he probably married for a good long time. So they said, your wife has a high body count, all this nonsense. It's his wife. Rather, Andrew's aware it's not. You at least show some respect to other men's goddamn wives. And this is the problem when a lot of men that run this batch lifestyle, there's some high and very much consequence. And if you're going to be a batch life, when you run under men, be respectful. Just be respectful. I did not condone what he did at the end. That's very disrespectful. I didn't even like what he just said. And you know what I'm saying? I was once married, but I'm now free agent. But your wife is no, don't do that. That's disrespect. That's dissing somebody else's wife. You can get punched in your face for that. Damn sure if a coach would never say that in front of a black man if he was married to a wife. regardless of the ethnic background of his wife. He would not dare said that. So I didn't like that at the end, what he just did. Very insulting, very disrespectful. During the whole debate, that really you have not shown no promise at all. Besides telling people buy your goddamn book so to make you rich. Which, okay. But you're not really bringing anything substantial to the table. You're causing the same degeneracy that you don't give a crap about. The women that out here that's busting by open, that is their choice. And for most men, if you deal with women that is so loose with their box like that, you know what the goddamn do. You don't wife them. Women that move in silence and move with respect, dignity, and some goddamn sense deserve more of that. Now, I'm hoping in time, as time progresses under this new administration, that they're going to start not only cutting back, but they're going to start rolling back some of these laws because it is getting out of hand. Which I see that happening very soon, or it's already happened already. And then y'all guys be the judge who win this debate. I think Andrew did hold his end to it. As much as I was hoping for something better and more respect from Coach Gray Adams, I don't. I mean, I listened from the beginning for part 1, and now it's part 2. He still holds his end about, you know, the disadvantage about how this woman could still go to the Mr. Charlie to gain something, but there's nothing that she can do in society that she's not entitled to if she really wants it. Because America is structured right now as a capitalist system, and obviously women are going to spend more money than men. So obviously the system sees where the money is going. They want that money because they want your money. I hope my men have to understand the laws that's put in place is to keep ciphering money off you as men. Now, most men that's millennials and some Gen X like Craig Adams or anybody that's a millennial like whoever, right, should be fighting what's going on systematically, properly. But we are not doing that. So what happens, you're getting backshot on the low by the system. It is what it is. All right, guys. Thank y'all for watching today's stream. Leave your comments on your thoughts and feelings on this whole debate. I gave my intake and all this stuff. If you want the articles I presented, you need to go enjoy a Discord service. That's all my social media links. Follow me on Twitter at ChaosRain7. You can also add me as a friend on Facebook, Eric Ray on Facebook. Join my Discord service. Follow my Rumble handle, CRain23 on Rumble. And last but not least, become a member of the Chaos Rain Show as well. That's it. Thank you for watching. Until next time. Now, me, literally, next time. The Chaos Rain!
Man, fuck all you hoes. Fuck you and your mammy and your granny too. And fuck all you hoes. I'm sick of this shit. Fuck all you hoes. And fuck all you. Don't give a damn, bitch, what you wanna do. And fuck all you hoes.
They like the chaos.
They like the chaos. So when you're able to
The chaos.
let that chaos reign with,
The chaos.
let that chaos reign with,
The chaos
let that chaos reign with,
must reign.